Weather has certainly been the story in the state of Florida. That continues to be the case, but we're hoping for a great night of baseball. They have gathered the finest 14U players of the land at JetBlue Park, the second home of the Boston Red Sox. It's the 4th annual Perfect Game Select Baseball Festival at the 14U age group. Tanyan Sturts, Flash Gordon, former Major Leaguers, they're coaching all the action. Hi there, folks. Hold the umbrellas. We're hanging in there just fine. This is longtime Major Leaguer Dimitri Young. My name is Darren Sutton, and Perfect Games National cross-checker Jeremy Brown. Welcome back to the ballpark. Dimitri, let's put you right to work because you acted almost as a coach. Now you're a color analyst with these talented young players. There's an Arizona State commit, Derek Mitchell. Tracy Smith is excited to get him there. What do you know about Derek that you can share with the folks?
Well, I've seen Derek Mitchell for the past 2 years coming to the camps that I attend, and talking about a big, strong switch hitter with family bloodlines that equals power. Talking about Mo Vaughn and Greg Vaughn. And so this young kid has an absolute chance of making it. You just got to keep that power going.
Here's another college commit I'm going to put you to work on. His name is Cam Collier. He plays on the corner of the infield. He also has a big arm, left-handed hitter, right-handed pitcher.
Well, this is a guy that's going to be an impact player, playing the corner, infield, or outfield. Baseball IQ that's real high. His dad was a former big leaguer, Lou Collier. This kid works hard, and he wants to make it to the big leagues in the worst possible way.
Cam Collier, the G-Form Unstoppable Award winner. Aiden Miller, a talented two-way player. Jeremy Brown as well.
Yeah, you talked about bloodlines, Dimitri. We had Aiden's older brother, Jackson, in the inaugural festival. Different than his brother, the left-handed hitting catcher, is Aiden's a right-handed hitting center fielder. Big-time power, big-time hand speed, also up to 88 miles per hour on the mound.
High school rules keep Ethan Robinson out of playing in this game, but he was invited. He pitched in an exhibition, and oh, was it special.
He would have brought the fireworks on TV. So he up to 90 yesterday on the backfields over 2 innings, pounds of strike zone, high-level arm speed, tons of projection, and you can easily see why Vanderbilt already locked him up.
Let's learn a little bit more about Ethan. Again, heading to Vanderbilt, let's bring in the 4th member of our broadcast team, Danny Wexelman and Ethan Robinson.
Ethan, you are recently committed to the University of Vanderbilt, the reigning champs under Tim Corbin. Why are you so excited to join this program?
Because everything there is nice, the facility, the education, even though it's hard. I think I have a 3.7 to get in there, and I have to work harder for school now. But also, they're in my backyard. I can just go there whenever because I live like 20 minutes down the road, and my family can just come watch whenever.
It's amazing. And I saw you just a couple weeks ago throwing gas at the 14U National Showcase. You were showing off yesterday as well, pitching in a simulated game. You won't be pitching in this game today because of some Tennessee rules. But you said that you get motivated by people watching you. You don't get nervous. Why is that?
Because ever since I was 9 or 10, I've been throwing yards, so everyone just gathers around whenever I'm pitching. So it doesn't really affect me anymore. It usually just hypes me up and makes me throw harder.
Ethan, thank you so much. Darren, back to you.
In the heart of the recruiting process with Major League Dreams, the Perfect Game All-American Classic played at Petco Park in August. 12 alum from this game. It sets the table. The finest high school players in the land just getting started at that level. Dimitri, Jeremy, and I with the starting lineups in the action. Coming up next, rain, stay away. Weather is an issue. We hope to get started soon. Again, not the weather that everyone is fearing on the East Coast, just a rainstorm on the West Coast here in Florida. So a little bit of rain-delayed theater. We're going to keep it right here and introduce you to some of these fine athletes, like a young man by the name of Stephen Millan, who's out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. He's a 23 grad. He plays for the USA Prime National Team. And last night, he was the Rawlings Defensive Player of the Year. He's standing by with Danny Wexelman. Guys?
Stephen, let's start out. It's sprinkling a little bit. Neither of us are professional meteorologists. It's sprinkling a little bit. The guys got their shoes off because it looks maybe like they're going to take the tarp off. But what do you do during the delay? I know you've had a couple in your lifetime. What do you do?
I usually just anchor down in the dugout with my friends and we listen to music.
What are you listening to?
Travis Scott.
Travis Scott. Okay. So also something really cool about you, the first player out of New Mexico to be a part of the 14U Select Festival. How proud are you of that?
I'm very proud. I always like to represent New Mexico in any way I can because nobody really knows about it, but it's very exciting and I'm very grateful for it.
You guys have had a long day today getting ready for this game. I know the delay is not what you wanted, but how are you mentally prepared for this game, physically prepared? I know it's kind of like the culmination of your year, right?
Yeah. Always got to stay focused. A lot of people are going to be watching this game, so I just got to do me and go out there and perform.
Tell me some of the highlights of the weekend. You guys went to Golisano's and visited the children there. You've been practicing at JetBlue Park. What have been some of the best parts?
Hitting in the derby, honestly, and then visiting the kids at the hospital is very, like, an eye-opener to me. It's unfortunate that they have it, but they're still, at the end of the day, humans, and we all have to live with it, and hopefully they get better soon.
You guys got cleats signed by them. You got your hats signed by them. You're rocking some wristbands, too. What kind of impact do you think that what they're going through can have on your game today?
Go out there and put it on go out there and put it all on the line for them, and make them proud of visiting us or seeing us.
All right, Steven, thank you so much for your time. We're going to wait and see what's going on with the tarp. Darren, I'm going to send it back to you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Danny. And certainly it's all sorts of fun when these athletes get together around former major leaguers and those that are their coaches, like Tanyan Sturtz and Flash Gordon, and like my color analyst, Dimitri Young. But what I have found over the last couple of years in being very fortunate to get to know these talented young athletes as they head into high school, into the draft, and into college, is that once the pros reach the highest level, they love nothing more than looking back on when they were this age down on the field, remembering when baseball to them was pure, the travel ball, the trips to the hotels, the friends, and the memories. And so we got together with some of the best athletes in all of Major League Baseball, all PG alum. By the way, perfect game with 1,300 alumni, all perfect game alum. We got together with them and opted to, why don't you welcome these young players to this All-American game, really is what it is, the best 14U players in the land. Here's our net result as they welcomed all of them to the banquet last night. We said, hey, guys, welcome them to the room. Here's what happened.
There are thousands of players right now that would kill to be in your spot. This year, every single player drafted in the first round came through perfect game.
The second selection of the 2019 MLB Draft, the Kansas City Royals select Bobby Witt Jr., a shortstop from Colleyville Heritage High School, Colleyville, Texas. The Cleveland Indians select Daniel Espino, a right-handed pitcher from Georgia Premier Academy in Statesboro, Georgia. The Detroit Tigers select Riley Green.
The Arizona Diamondbacks select Brennan Malone, right-handed pitcher from IMG Academy.
It's kind of like the first big league experience. You have that. You walk into a room, you get all the gear. The next day you have your own locker. You get to do a little workout. The next day you go to the bigger game. It's the first big league experience you get.
I just remember it being ultra competitive, man. I remember, all the guys that were the best of the best were going to be there. It was kind of like a minor league feel. I didn't even know it, but essentially I was playing against the guys that I'll play against for the next 10 to 15 years of my career.
You're able to, interact with so many kids that I'm playing with them now in the big leagues. They're like, hey, remember I played with you in North Carolina in this tournament? I was like, man, yeah, I do remember you. So it's crazy how you can come back to those people and come back to, how small the world is.
I'm beyond excited to go and see these kids and have fun with them all day. For them to go the extra step and to help the less fortunate out and to help their community out shows a lot about how much they care and how much they're using the platform that society gives them to a positive advantage. I remember I was getting a polo and getting dressed to go to the Children's Hospital to hang out with the kids. We went to a little playground and we played with them for a little bit, talked to them, and it was just cool seeing their smiles.
I just want to congratulate all you guys on being selected in this room. Just take a look around in this room and understand the guys next to you and the guys that are right next to you. You're going to be competing against these guys for your whole entire career. But not everybody in this room is going to be in the big leagues. This is just a process, and this is just the beginning of the process. So continue to work hard, continue to lean on each other for advice. But at the end of the day, understand what you're doing. You're playing baseball. You're playing a kid's game, and you'll eventually be able to do it for a living. So enjoy the process. Don't take anything for granted. and really just enjoy each and every day you get to go out there and put a uniform on.
To be honest, all of you guys are right in this room are pretty special. So you all should be happy where you are. You're all blessed to be here. Make sure you work hard so you can play against me or with me and my team. And make sure you're part of Rollins family.
I'm just trying to relax and have fun with a great group of boys. So that's my takeaway, just having fun.
That power, bro. Down the middle. I'm going to hit it out of JetBlue.
What a great piece to be a part of, and certainly to have those major leaguers welcome these athletes to this age group. I mean, when you think about perfect game, you think about more than 1,300 major league players that have made their journey to the very top. You think about the 12,000 that have been drafted and the thousands upon thousands of college commitments. But even bigger picture, you think about those that didn't, those that are teachers, those that are out there working in some sort of an industry impacting others, a doctor, a lawyer, somebody who's a family man and really grown past their time of baseball. They have those memories too. But it's very interesting because perfect game, not just national games like this, not just large showcases like the 14U National Showcase, but the tournaments all over the country, regionally perfect game at all different age groups, and specifically at this 14U age group. Great athletes were found for this event at regional tournaments and regional showcases. They were invited to the national showcase. Now they're at an all-American caliber event. So it's very unique, the perfect game journey and the experience. And again, not everyone's going to make it to Major League Baseball, but it's the memories, the teammates, the friendships that they take with them. But when we do talk to the major leaguers, it's very easy to have them to look back at when they were young. Eric Hosmer, Francisco Lindor, the subject, travel ball.
It was legendary. It seemed like it was every other weekend. We were packing up the car and going somewhere. And usually I was in the back sleeping, and Mom and Dad were holding down the road for me and doing anything they can to make it work. And looking back on it now, having teammates with kids and seeing, the process their kids are going through, it just... the appreciation for my parents was just through the roof. I think I realize now all the work they were putting in, all the stuff they were doing to let me pursue my career in baseball.
The coolest thing was always being with your teammates, whether it was at a restaurant, after a game, or whether it was in the hotel, in the pool, or in the parking lot, playing baseball in the parking lot. Those things were always pretty cool.
I think it's something that, now being in the major leagues and reach this level, it just makes me really proud that they get to witness all this stuff with me. They get to be here with me. They got to go to the World Series with me. They got to go to the Gold Glove dinners with me. And it just makes the whole process, I think, it makes me visualize it in a full circle, and it gives me those that adult version kind of the appreciation of what my parents did.
I don't miss the 8 o'clock games and 8 o'clock in the morning. I don't miss those. Or I don't miss when you fall in the losers bracket and you got to play 5 games to make it to the championship. I don't miss those things. But I do miss the playing with guys all over the country and getting to know players.
So it's not just the quote-unquote regular guy who doesn't play anymore that has those memories. It's the major leaguers. They remember when they were young. Let's get to know another one of these talented young players. He's an outstanding catcher. Brady Neal is standing by with Danny Wexelman. D, take it away.
Brady, right before we just got on, what did you tell me you were going to do on the tarp?
Slide. Yeah. I was going to slide on it.
Yeah. You can't slide anymore because they're pulling it off. That means that the game's going to get back in action soon. But I bet you would much rather slide on the bases than on the tarp, right?
Yes, ma'am. Get on base.
How excited are you for this game? I know you guys have waited a little bit now, not too long, but how excited are you?
Very. I want to play against the other best players in the country, catch and hit some. So.
I know you injured your back earlier this year. You're coming back from that. We talked about it a little bit earlier in the week. How hard was that? And, where are you now? You ready to rock?
Oh, yeah, I've been ready to rock. A lot of physical therapy and working out and stuff like that to get back in shape. But I've been ready to play, and I played all summer. It's healthy, so I'm ready.
You have older brothers, I know, who have kind of helped you form this path and get to where you are. What have they taught you about this game, on and off the field?
Just respect my teammates, respect my coaches, and play as hard as I can. And don't suck. So, Yeah.
Don't suck, Darren. It's as simple as that. Don't suck. I'm going to send it back to you. Don't suck, okay?
I'm fine. That's the Joe Madden T-shirt, and it's great advice, and that's advice for all of us as well. Bigger picture for this event is the cause, and the cause is Perfect Game's constant effort with the Perfect Game Cares Foundation in the fight against pediatric cancer. The foundation also reaching out for efforts like autism awareness and doing so in Arizona. But these players were able to get together on the heels of what went on in San Diego, Rady Children's Hospital, a group that has been benefited by more than $1 million raised by Perfect Game. Of course, at Oklahoma City and all that went on there on campus at the University of Oklahoma and Toby Keith's Cancer Corral and the gathering of those families in need. Those athletes, again, raising funds at the 13U Select Festival. And then here, nearly $50,000 raised by these athletes. Lee County Health, and Golisano Children's Hospital. There's a story behind the story, though, because one of the key athletes in this great event, one of the very talented players, has his own sibling who has his own battle with cancer. That's where we start with our visit with these athletes to Golisano's Children's Hospital.
That's why I can tell with your feet. You got quick feet. You're going to have on some shoes that help you to move around a little bit.
All right, his name is Johanna Antigua. He's 8. And what I like about him is that he's always smiling, always happy. He's never mad. Only sometimes, but when he doesn't get what he wants. When I found out that he had cancer, my mom picked me up from school. And because she was in the hospital the day before with him, and they were crying. So I got in the car, asked what happened, and she told me. And I just stood there and I just didn't say anything.
When I first had cancer, his friend's dad made cancer shirts for me. They said, "Cancer, you mess with the wrong kid, John Strong."
He's just like a warrior. Like, doesn't let anything bring him down. And he's always has a smile on his face. And he's always fighting. So yeah. It impacts me to strive for more, to be a better baseball player.
He is the best brother, and he does anything I want to do and all that.
It created more love, like I love you. They say that a lot more hugs, a lot more kisses. It bring them, this brought them real close. Amazing watching them. And they still fight and they still get in each other's nerve, but at the end of the day, it's a special love.
Want to give them just like that big friendship and big brother environment. For me, it's been a great experience, and I always want to have a little brother, a little sister, so it's real fun.
My grandmother had died before I was born to cancer, and I just felt that helping his children out is really important to me, so I just wanted to help them out.
We've been playing little wiffle ball games and letting the kids pitch to each other and just see who's the best. There's one kid who was there's two kids. They're hitting bombs.
So I know he was always looking forward to things like this at the end of the day. After going through chemo, and you can forget a little bit that you're in the hospital and about your situation. So this is why it's important for these kids to do this kind of thing. So hopefully they stay doing it.
This has to be a 20. This has to be the best experience. This is just real fun. It's just being that little kid again. It's just a blast.
I'll say that it's a good experience for kids that are parents that haven't experienced this before. And this weekend, one of the best weekends of my life.
Toby Keith's OK Corral in Norman, Oklahoma. Golisano Children's Hospital in Fort Myers, Florida, and Rady Children's Hospital in San Diego, California, the beneficiary of the Perfect Game Cares Foundation, and quite frankly, the beneficiary of young athletes for a bigger cause, for a cause bigger than themselves. We appear to be getting closer. We're going to seek a start time, and we plan to hang here and take you right up to the first pitch. The most talented 14U players in the land have gathered, and they're ready to play baseball. They've practiced on this field. They've worked out here. They certainly are excited here. Now they're ready to play an elite game against one another. Players from coast to coast, from California up north to New York, all the way down to Oregon, or up to Oregon, I should say, and down to Florida. We're going to step aside, then we'll get it back with an update here at JetBlue Park. Jackson Mackenzie out of Pace, Florida, one of the better hitters and pitchers combined in this event. Recently committed to Mississippi State. He's been so active at PG events. He has been seen in 22, including here tonight. A young man who is a proud commit to Mississippi State as a 23 grad. We hopped on the mound with him, and we did so last December. That's the great thing about this multitude of events. We got to know Jackson very well as a pitcher at Perfect Games 14U Main Event Showcase, December, Fort Myers, 2018.
So, mound time, all right? I want to walk through your mechanics. Walk me through, let's start with your windup, okay, and how you start. And let's talk about the key being the bottom half. The balance position is important for you, huh? Athletic position?
Yes, sir.
All right, so then let's foot back down. Let's go from the waist up.
Okay.
And let's talk about your arm circle. Let's talk about your lead glove.
Start right here. And whenever I get to this, at my highest point, I try to break my hands. So a lot of times I finish high, so trying to reach down and break my hands, and then I lift my arm fairly high to pull over and reach out in front. So here's go. Then you finish and try not to jerk my head.
Dylan Cup, another one of these fine athletes that is a part of the gathering here. And Cup, certainly a young man who, like many of these shortstops, will move around and play defense, different spots on the field. Jackson Mackenzie, when he is most comfortable as a defender, it's first, it's third, it's outfield. Hang in there, man. You'll get your inning in there, Jackson Mackenzie. We'll also introduce you to a key family member of his that's hoping to be a college hitter as well. She is an outstanding pitcher. She's a part of our broadcast team. We'll step aside, a quick break, getting closer and closer. We're trying to keep this rain away as well. The 14U Perfect Game Baseball Select Fest here in Fort Myers, Florida. And that sun is really good to see, isn't it, folks, as it says goodbye to us for the evening. Welcome back to the ballpark. Longtime Major Leaguer Dimitri Young. My name is Darren Sutton, and National Scouting Coordinator and cross-checker for Perfect Game is Jeremy Brown. And Jeremy, it looks like the rain's going to stay away. These kids are going to get to do what they've worked so hard to do, and that's play one another all week long. For you, I'd like to start with you, and I think he could educate both of us on kind of a big picture subject. Perfect Game with so many events, right? At the 14U age group, you have tournaments, you have showcases, regional showcases. There was a national showcase here. So at this level, with your work and diligence and all of your colleagues, it's not that hard to scout and find these players because they're active in many different ways, right?
Right, yeah. Like you said, this schedule, this whole organization and these 44 have come together as a process of over a year and a half, 2 years of work. You gather the names. You get them to tournaments, you get them to the showcases, you get them together, get to compare them, and ultimately these are the 44 that we came up with.
And so they have the opportunity to play with their teams. This is more of an all-star game as they pull away from their teams. Dimitri, you learned all the time when you're in the big leagues. You had teammates, you bent their ear. The guys that were done playing, you learned from them. But you learn from your elite player teammates. Have you watched these young men learn from one another and ask questions from one another this week?
I definitely seen that, especially when they was taking BP, when the wind was blowing in. Saw the guys, you know, they were actually acting like teammates, trying to help each other, tell each other how to hit the ball through the wind and stuff. So like you said, they learn from each other, and when you're an elite ball player, you like to see some of the other players across the nation that you normally don't see.
Yeah, it's outstanding. Commits, you bet they're committed. There are quite a few that will introduce you, and 2 that will commit on television tonight. But Walter Ford is out of Pace, Florida. He's an Alabama commit. We'll see his outstanding repertoire a little bit later on in the game. But before we see it, we listen to who he is as a pitcher.
My name is Walter Ford. I'm from Pace, Florida, and I throw a fastball, slider, and changeup. My fastball tends to have some arm side run to it. My slider has almost a power slider, really. It goes from side to side and a lot of down. And then my changeup, just a normal changeup, it just drops down slower than a fastball.
Our BSN Sports Baseball Scouting Report on Walter Ford, and certainly excited to see him play in this game. Ford and his many mates, right-handed, left-handed, so many unique deliveries. By the way, with that unique delivery, let's kick it on down to Danny. She found Walter. D, take it away.
Party trick for us. You can solve a Rubik's Cube. We're going to start you now. Give us a shot for this. Let's see what you got, my friend.
Okay. It's not that fast, but I can still do it.
Okay. And how'd you learn how to do this?
I kind of just locked myself in my room. I had a determination to beat my dad at it because he said I could not do it. So I was like, I'm going to teach him wrong. So I looked up on YouTube. I learned the algorithm. But the learning it wasn't the hardest part. Memorizing it was the goal. But I'm a little nervous right now.
Don't be nervous here. I'll talk for a second. So out of Pace, Florida, like we said, committed to Alabama, which is amazing, really exciting to know what you're going to be doing with your future education and on the ball field. When you think about your opportunities there at Alabama, what are you thinking about?
I'm thinking it's exciting, just to have the opportunity to take my baseball farther. But I'm thinking, as of right now, they have me as a two-way guy. But if I end up going as a pitcher, I'll go as a pitcher. If I go as a hitter, I'll go as a hitter. But it was mainly just exciting to be committed and being able to have that opportunity to take it to the next level.
It looks like you're getting pretty close. The last time I did this live on air, we couldn't solve it quick enough. I know you're under the gun right now, but this is pretty good pressure, good lessons to learn when you're on the mound too, right? Because you've got a really great arsenal.
Yeah, usually the thing I have to overcome most is the pressure and the adrenaline. Sometimes I'll leave a fastball up just because of the adrenaline or a changeup, but it's more of a mind game more than it is. Once you learn how to pitch, it's being in the right mindset and knowing how to do it, just because you already know.
Absolutely. We're going to send it over to the anthem.
Amazing stuff. He almost got her done. We're going to step aside here at CBS Sports Network. The Perfect Game Select 14U Baseball Festival. Back in a bit.
The Perfect Game 14U Select Festival on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by BSN Sports Baseball, proud partner of Perfect Game. By Perfect Game, the largest and most respected independent scouting service in baseball. And by New Balance Baseball, proud partner of the Perfect Game All-American Classic.
Breaking ball off the end of the bat. It's down to the plate. Not in time. Rocket shot, base hit, right field for Sousa. That was the 17th Perfect Game All-American Classic earlier this summer in August at Petco Park in San Diego. It's appropriate to bring us back to the Perfect Game Select Baseball Festival because this year there were 12 alumni that made it all the way to the top, and that All-American Classic turns out to be a draft preview. The relationship with Golisano Children's Hospital is so important here locally, and these players are able to visit and spend time. And we honor Callie Kapowski, 12 years old, a 7th grader, middle schooler, diagnosed with a rare form of brain cancer at 8.5 years old. After a long battle, she's 2.5 years post-treatment. No evidence of the disease, new passion, participating in aerial arts with animals, and wants to be an anesthesiologist when she grows up. Perfect Game raising with these athletes close to $50,000. The Perfect Game Cares Foundation, Jennifer Ford in the front of your shot, the head of that foundation, Ben Ford to the right, National Development Vice President for PG and former Major Leaguer. And he really puts his hands on this event. Florida weather has been a discussion worldwide, and for good reason. But for tonight, it's not a discussion. Safe and sound, certainly. And we introduce you to those that are getting ready to represent the names of Sturtz and Gordon. And right out of the gates, Dillon Lonergan goes to work, the right-hander out of Duluth, Brookwood High School, Duluth in Georgia. The Georgia Jackets, his travel team. Jeremy, tell us a little bit about this right-hander.
You look at Dillon right here, already 6'2", almost 200 pounds, not your typical 14U type player. The delivery is an extremely easy one. It's fluid, it's simple, it's easy to repeat. He's upper 80s every time we've seen him this summer. Tons of strikes, life to the fastball, big depth on the breaking ball. And on top of all of that, he's also one of the most highly coveted football quarterback recruits in the country for his age.
Outstanding athlete all around. The umpires, by the way, the Perfect Game umpires doing such a fine job developing umpires, sending them on to professional baseball as well. Pablo Lopez is behind the plate. Steve Sambucci is the second base umpire. Pablo's out at first, by the way. Miguel Cruz is behind home plate. The PG umpires, glad to have them out there working this event. And, of course, working on an event on television. So many times they work events where there is no television. We're really excited to be a part of it. This is Stephen Millan. He leads things off. He's out of Las Cruces, New Mexico, Centennial High School, where he plays for head coach Rusty Evans. And last night, he was named the Rawlings Defensive Player of the Year, which means he's got a very strong glove. We're about to play, and we're excited about it. Millan leads it off.
Like you said, Millan, he's the Defensive Player of the Year. Obviously, he's leading off, which means he's got the barrel skills. We've seen him at several tournaments. Switch hitter. Doesn't matter which side. Upper 80s here against Lonergan. Odds are he's still going to find a barrel.
Yeah, I saw him the last couple of days taking batting practice, and I loved his approach because, you know, at 14 years old, I saw a lot of guys, you know, they're trying to hit home runs and stuff, and that's what young kids try and do. They get to a field amongst their peers, and they try and show who's stronger. His approach, he was using the entire gap-to-gap area just on the line, being very consistent.
Well, away we go. Slightly open stance. A little toe tap as he takes a good sinking fastball that is low. 1-0 the count. You won't see constant velocity in this game at this age group, but at the end of a couple of innings, we will update you with what, in fact, is going on. And Jeremy will share some numbers with you on occasion as well. And we're off and running as that one sails high up and out of there.
Back-to-back 89-mile-per-hour fastballs from Lonergan. I mean, again, this is a 14U event, and he's coming out almost touching 90 with his first 2 bolts.
Well, isn't this what we expect out of elite players, especially at this age? You know, the last few years, we've seen him in the low 90s all the way to what he's throwing right here. And like you said, 14 years old, he has absolute beautiful fluid motion on the mound. And if I was Millan, I'd be trying to swing away, try and get a pitch early to drive up the middle. But right now he's 1-2 right now, so it's going to be an epic battle.
Well, good-looking cut fastball right under the hands there of Millan. Steven, USA Prime National, his travel team. He's non-committed. He dreams of LSU someday. That's one of the schools that is on his list, as that fastball is up and out of the zone. Arizona's on that list as well. Oregon State are teams that he thinks about. His dad is Steven, his mom is Marcy, and his younger sister, Brooklyn, 10 years old.
Millan's definitely going to have his choices of schools here. Like we said earlier, every time he's one of the more consistent players in the country. Barrel skill, defensive abilities up the middle, can play short, can play second, hands really work. And he's run the count full here to open the game.
And that's the kind of hitter that he is when they talk about his ability to spoil, make decisions late in at-bats. And he does them very, very well. Great in the classroom, by the way. Honor roll student all through middle school at Camino Real Middle School in New Mexico. And he takes high ball 4, and Steven is on. That's a good at-bat.
That's a professional at-bat right there. He worked the pitcher, fouled off some stuff, didn't see what he wanted, and had the discipline to lay off of that pitch. A lot of people would trace that pitch being geared up for the fastball, but he showed the patience right there. Very mature hitter.
Drew Burris digs in out of Perry, Georgia. Houston High School. He's a 23 grad. Very active, perfect game athlete for many, many years. There's a reason why. We'll share it for you in just a minute, as that one is up and out of the zone. You see, Drew plays for 5-Star National, his travel team, and that's his father. His dad, Andy, is the founder and the leader of 5-Star National. Dad was drafted in the 5th round by the Cincinnati Reds and played quarterback at Georgia as well. But this is Drew's journey now. And he swings right through that one. And Drew, Jeremy, is quite a polished hitter.
Yeah, just what he does in the box isn't what you expect, again, at a 14U level. No matter who he's facing, no matter what kind of pitch it is, breaking ball, fastball, he's able to adjust. He's able to keep his hands back enough to get the barrel to the ball. And you have to expect he's going to do something here to put the ball in play.
Yeah, I like that swing right there. You know, he's letting it get deep to his contact point. You know, a guy like this, a lot of guys try and get geared up to try and be one-dimensional and pull him, but he's staying right there through it. Look, that's absolutely beautiful. Just a hair behind on that pitch, but I really like that compact swing, and he can do a lot of damage. He keeps that swing up.
Millan bouncing around at first. Good breaking ball, but it's just off the plate. Boy, Dimitri, with the swing like that and an approach like that, you take like that. That's a quality take. That's a good pitch just off the plate.
Yeah, he was ready to drive the ball somewhere and had the wherewithal to be able to hold back. And that's tough to do, especially in this type of game where, you know, the adrenaline is going through. But right there, took a healthy cut. But if I'm going to go down, I want to go down like that.
Danny Wexelman with Cam Collier walking him to the plate. D?
An 8-year big league career, your dad, Lou. What are some of the traits you have of his?
The arm strength, the hitting ability, and
your big personality, right?
Personality, yeah.
And there's a song you always listen to before at bats. You sing me a line?
If I take you everywhere, then you really know how to walk.
There we go, guys. Cam, good luck. Back to you.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Cam. We appreciate it. Cam Collier, a very talented athlete. One of the finest players in the land, and his dad, Lou, a solid major league career from 97 to 04. Dimitri, like you, he is very involved in teaching young athletes at the club level, but also through Major League Baseball's Breakthrough Series. Here's Cam Collier on his national television debut. This is exciting stuff. You wanted to talk about him coming on the air. Why?
Well, right there, you saw that he took a hack. He's a big, mature body kid right there, and as you can see, he's fun-loving, a little bit shy, but the personality is going to come through his bat and his actions on the field.
Dillon Lonergan on the mound. As that one sinks low, dives out of there. Dillon, by the way, a non-commit. LSU, Georgia, Clemson, schools that he thinks about.
You know football is going to be factored in there for Dillon as well.
Yeah, number 5 in the country, top 5, as you said, as a quarterback.
He's throwing his breaking ball right now between 79 and 82 miles per hour, which is a typical velocity, the average fastball velocity for 14U type players, and that's what he's throwing his slider at right now.
A man amongst boys.
And to think he splits his time pretty evenly throughout the summer between baseball and football, not giving one all the concentration just yet.
Runner goes, fouled back to the screen, inner half with that pitch.
And you know, you can say that he keeps his arm in shape being a quarterback, having to throw over the top. So that's kind of the same motion that he has with baseball. He's more over the top than that three-quarter, or that high three-quarter or three-quarter angle, which eventually can hurt the arm.
It's a really fluid, balanced, and simple. The simplicity of it is what really helps take his stuff to the next level, allowing for the plethora of strikes that he's showing here.
decoy asking for the pitch in. Carson Bowen is the catcher out of Southern California. That's another part of it that's unique. Bowen working behind the plate. He's a USA player as well. His team winning that NHSI event earlier this year, the National High School Invitational at Orange Lutheran. But you're working with pitchers that you don't know, and that's a unique challenge, a big challenge for a guy like Bowen. Riley Jackson, the other catcher on that team, Connor Bennett. Good breaking ball down and in. Well, that is the perfect spot. You start it where it looks good, inner half but a strike, and that's a gutsy pitch to throw right here, Dimitri.
Well, that pitch right there, that's a nasty pitch right there. I can't say anything. Sorry, Cam, but tip your cap to the pitcher on that pitch right there. And if you have a secondary pitch like that, you're going places.
Manuel Beltre takes his opportunity out of Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. Resmondo Baseball, his travel team, and he is a Florida International commit. First pitch fastball right in on his hands. Surrounding it at short, the National Player of the Year, Tamar Johnson, the shortstop. 6-3 ground out. Cleaned it up very nicely, did Dillon Lonergan. The perfect game. Perfect game. Gathered them all together. The Select Festival, the finest 14U players in the land. Moving on to the bottom half of the first inning. Team Sturts, Tanyan Sturts team getting ready to swing the bat. Danny Wexelman on the diamond. Danny?
Tamar Johnson getting ready, putting his batting gloves on. How excited are you for this at-bat right now?
I can't wait. I can't wait to get my first at-bat in the way. I can't wait to see what I can do.
Player of the Year, how are you going to show us what you do with the bat? You just showed us with the glove.
I'm just trying to work all gaps, see how far I can hit it, and just work. Period.
Awesome, Tamar. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Guys, back to you.
Good stuff. Danny down there getting a pre-at-bat conversation. He'll deal with Thomas White, massive Red Sox fan. Chris Sale is his idol. We'll see if he looks at all like him. He's a left-hander. We know that. Out of Rowley, Massachusetts, Phillips Academy, Kevin Gruber. Let's listen to Thomas White. Jeremy will tell us more, but let's have Thomas himself tell us about his grips. Fastball and a breaking ball. Good stuff for Thomas White. Now we're going to hear his grips.
So it's a four-seam fastball that I throw. Just two fingers right on top of the laces. And when I throw it, I tend to usually kind of flick it slightly. And it gets a good spin, backspin on it. Good downhill. Then I have the curveball. Goes like this. I have slightly more pressure onto the thumb down here and a little bit less up here, so that when I flick it, it gets that good spin on it. Spinning 12-6. And then circle change. Hold it slightly farther out into my fingers, like kind of like that. And then when I throw it, twist it kind of like this, so it gets that good dipping away action on it.
Our BSN scouting report, and away we go. We know how he does it. He deals with Tamar Johnson. Thomas White, an uncommitted player. When you ask him what schools he dreams of, he says, you know what, it's too early to determine right now. As that fastball darts over the outside corner at 91 miles an hour. This is a talented arm.
Oh, it's electricity coming out of that left arm. I mean, like you just said, 91. He's 6'3". Comes out, goes change up left on left to Tamar in a 1-1 count, which Tamar doesn't even know what to do with that. Dimitri's got a look of, he's confused right now.
Yeah, you talking about a commit. I don't think he's going to be committing to some. No, he's not committing to college. He's going to be drafted high. I'm good Lord, the way that he looks on the mound right now, that ball is electric, Jeremy. Good Lord.
It jumps. There's life. I was talking to him during our delay earlier. Last year he was 5'10". He's now 6'3". Went from a 10.5 shoe to 14.
Oh my!
Went from 79 to 91 on the fastball. Again, right here at 91, goes outer half glove side against Tamar. And I mean, the delivery itself, you look how balanced it is for a kid who just grew that much over the front side, clean, extended. I mean, that ball just jumps.
And a nice job by Johnson taking that pitch up and out of the zone, trying to get the chase. Johnson was the man who ignited all the fun on the diamond during batting practice. Really fun to see, to be with him. Fastball inside corner. Beautiful pitch again at 91 miles an hour, right under the hands of Tamara Johnson out of Mays High School in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah, there's really nothing that he can do on that pitch right there. Nothing. That's kind of hard to pull the trigger. He would have broken that bat in about 40 pieces.
Aiden Miller, the two-way player of the year, is named by Perfect Game last night as the slider is high to the young man out of Trinity, Florida, J.W. Mitchell High School. Howard Chittum, his head coach. Kangaroo Court, his travel team, top-tier ruse. As he takes low, and this is a man that does it all really well. Like at the 14U World Series, up to 87, but he also got on base 10 times. He was an all-tournament team member.
Yeah, Aiden, I mean, takes a big, healthy cut there, 2-0. Knew a fastball was coming, so he's going to take his rip. He's an intelligent player. He can adapt to any situation on the diamond. Look at the shift we got going on right now, too.
Oh, nice.
So that, I mean, they're shifted for Aiden to pull against a lefty throwing low 90s, so it speaks to his bat speed.
That's what you guys are talking about right here.
I mean, the second baseman, Millan out there, is literally behind the bag.
Good fastball on 3-1, 90 miles an hour.
And you know what? That was a nice cut. You know, I'm not going to take anything back from that. The 2-0, 3-1 hack. Yeah, all-star game like this, you have one of the best pitchers that you're going to see at this age. So you want a battle, and he won that battle. We're seeing elite versus elite right here.
Absolutely.
And the question I was going to ask was, with this young gentleman throwing 91, it's nice for him to have an elite catcher, because if he had a run-of-the-mill 14-year-old catcher that hadn't grown into his body yet, I'm pretty sure it'll be hard for him to catch him.
Yeah, Brady Neal's doing the catching. That's exactly who you're talking about. Neal will catch, Colton Wombles will catch, and Nicholas Sanders will catch for Tom Flash Gordon's team, and in this case, dealing with an elite arm. Braden Holcomb has to deal with them. Foundation Academy, his school. Big swing and a miss, 0-2 the count. Out of Orlando, Florida, he's a 23 grad, the son of Jason and Lynn, and the younger sibling of Samantha and Jacob.
He certainly does not look like a kid who has not played a varsity inning just yet. The power's real, the frame's real, the footwork around the dirt is real at third base as well.
I'll have to correct you. He played as a 7th and 8th grader.
Like yourself?
Yes.
Got him with an off-speed pitch. Strong inning thus far, Holcomb. It's tough to stay back when you're gearing up for 90-plus from the left side.
Absolutely. I mean, the little slider there, just enough shape to it. 71 miles per hour. Big differential. That's something, obviously, the more he throws it, the harder it's going to come out of his hand. But if you're Holcomb there, sitting fastball, you get something that far off velocity-wise, you can't do anything but drift to your front a bit.
Yeah, you're right. The ball was pitched away, so he already committed and realized that it wasn't the pitch he was looking for. But since he already committed, he did what he did.
Also a really good basketball player, averaging 20 points a game, has played quarterback, tight end, and wide receiver. Talking about pitcher Thomas White. In the box, this is Tayshawn Walton out of Emporia, Virginia. He's been seen at 24 PG events. Runner was on the move, and that one is fouled off. Tayshawn, Greensville County High School. And at the 14U National Showcase did outstanding things. Here's your jump.
So against the lefty, Aiden right there, first movement, he's gone.
He's pretty quick on the feet, too, I see.
He's got it all.
Fastball in and under the hands. But running a 6'9", 260 did Tayshawn Walton, 84 miles an hour from the outfield, and was a Diamond Kinetics freak with regard to advanced metrics. And we'll introduce you to those metrics a little bit later on in the show. He was top 99th percentile in all three.
Yeah, 99 exit velocity at that 14U showcase. I mean, that's grown man strength coming off with wood on a stationary ball off a tee.
That is. I mean, he was very impressive when he was taking batting practice the other day. Wow.
Slice to the right
Great
side.
Piece of hit
Down
right there.
for a base hit. Runners on first and third. Walton gets a fastball, lets it travel deep, takes it the other way for a base hit.
And what he does here is a two-strike approach. Me personally, I just take a little off my swing, and that's exactly what he did right there. The pitch is up in the zone, and boom.
It's about all he could do with it, and he executed it to a T.
That was a great piece of hitting right there.
Showing more of the hit tool, too. We talked about the power briefly, but the ability to stay back, throw the barrel, and go the opposite way was impressive.
Well, that's why he's here, because he can not only show power, but he can show that he can hit to all fields.
Carson Bowen has already worked behind the plate out of Orange Lutheran High School. He's a 22 grad. Garcia Parra Baseball Group, his travel team. It's that Garcia Parra family. But it's Michael Garcia Parra, Nomar's brother, who runs that program. Dad, a founder of the program. But GBG, known far and wide, and especially on the West Coast, as a very strong travel team. Carson's a non-commit. And again, when you're a key member of a team like Orange Lutheran, one of the best programs in the country, as a freshman, you've earned your spot.
Yeah, he's non-committed, obviously by choice, not due to a lack of options. Behind the plate, at the plate, it's power, lots of power. The swing works. We saw it at the 14U National. You see him here. It's just a really simple swing, easy trigger, stays short, direct to the ball with lots of strength behind that barrel.
And as you see, he's not real long or anything like that, so that swing is absolutely perfect for him. You know, being nice and compact, and with that, you're explosive.
Got a chase up and out of the zone. He struck out the side. There was a walk and a single, and in the middle of it, all the way up to 91 miles an hour from the left side. Out of Massachusetts, southpaw, Thomas White. Chris Sale would like that.
But, yeah, I can't wait to pitch in there.
Top half of the second inning, Sturts and Gordon going toe-to-toe, the 14U Perfect Game Select Baseball Festival. We just saw Thomas White out of Massachusetts, struck out the side, touched 91 miles an hour. That's major league potential. When you speak of the major leagues, his team from Massachusetts, who do you think? The Red Sox. He's honored to be pitching and to have pitched well in this ballpark. Let's listen.
Oh, I love the Red Sox. I've always loved them, and, you know, it sucks that they're not doing that well this year. But I've always liked to meet Chris Sale and just say what happened. You know, he could be getting back from his injuries, and I know he got another one. But, yeah, I can't wait to pitch in there. It's going to be a ton of fun. And only get one inning, but we'll make the best out of it.
And he did make the best out of it. He struck out the side, touched 91 miles an hour. The lore for the Boston Red Sox certainly present. A lot of folks call it the spring training home. These days in modern baseball, I don't think that's accurate as you see history in the retired numbers. I actually feel like it's the second home, because players that are injured, players that are rehabbing, they come down here to train. Players that sign come down here to work out and to get ready. It's not the spring home. It's the second home of the Boston Red Sox. Rayner Castillo is on the mound. Heck, Rayner, the young man out of the Dominican Republic, would like to maybe hang one of his numbers up there amongst the Big Papi and Pedro and Ted Williams and the legend, and, of course, Jackie Robinson in every Major League ballpark. Out of Manzanilla in the Dominican Republic, he's a 23 grad at the 19 World Showcase here in this city at the end of January. He was a top prospect, as named by you guys, Jeremy, up to 86 miles an hour. Really good curveball.
Yeah, like you said, the World Showcase is typically for the rising senior class. Another, like, start to the season for the scouts. Rayner came out as a just turned 14-year-old up to 86. Again, doesn't look like your 14-year-old. And we're told to expect even better velocity out of him right here.
Nolan Schubart out of Durand, Michigan, is a University of Michigan commit. Ready to rock and roll. Good dive on that fastball. Dives right down the middle at 86 miles an hour. Good sink to it.
Yeah, that ball came out clean, firm, with downhill plane.
That's what you call a heavy ball.
There it is again, darting over the outside corner. Schubart dealing with it, the young man. Matt Petit is his high school coach out of Orchard Lake in Michigan, St. Mary's Prep. He's a 22 grad. Paulette, his mom. Mike, his dad. And Nick, his older brother. Logan, his younger bro. On the ground, it's what you'd expect, but strong enough to put power into center field. Schubart with a base hit. It's the first for Flash Gordon's team.
That was a nice piece of hitting there. Took two fastballs, tried to come in with another one, and just got it out there to the outfield.
Yeah,
that's what you call perfect hitting right there.
Just speaks to the strength in his hands, where you don't get the barrel fully to it, and the eaglet's on first base.
Beautiful piece of hitting right there. Line drive in the book, as they used to say.
Cade Curlin, Tampa, Florida, Berkeley Prep. The University of Florida has earned his commitment, his verbal commitment. Obviously, this 23 grad, it's a verbal commitment until the fall of your senior year. Then it becomes pen on paper.
And that's when you sign your NLI, and obviously a lot can happen, but to get it, it's one less thing for these players at this age to have to worry about when so much is going on in their early baseball career.
You know what? I was noticing Curlin's grip kind of has a Kevin Youkilis, a little separation between the hands. And for some hitters, I don't know how that works, but I know he's able to get some whip behind that swing.
Good-looking pitch there from Rayner Castillo with the changeup. He's mixing really well. He's maintaining and even throwing a tick harder out of the stretch, already up to 87, 88 right now.
Cade Curlin 1-2 the count. Slightly open stance, a bend in that back leg. Puts it on the ground, foul. Danny Wexelman, what do you have for us?
Thanks, guys. Cade Curlin comes from a pretty athletic family. His dad played football at at South Carolina, excuse me. His uncle, Brad Culpepper, played for the Tampa Bay Bucks. His cousin, Rex Culpepper, was the quarterback at Syracuse. He underwent 100 hours of chemotherapy after being diagnosed with testicular cancer. And he calls him his hero now, and he is cancer-free, by the way, guys.
Yeah, that's good stuff. It is a really good athletic family, as you mentioned with Dad. Active on the pitch at South Carolina, really good athlete. Blair is mom, by the way. Brother Rivers is 13 and sister Reese is 11. Cade Curlin. And these advanced metrics from Diamond Kinetics, they are on his side. Everything that is right with regard to the bat speed that is generated, the hand speed, the impact momentum, the power when he makes contact with a baseball. The advanced metrics on his side.
Yeah, you watch Cade just take BP. The hands get a little long through the back, through the load, but the way he's able to whip that barrel, really, it speaks to the metrics, and the numbers don't lie. Neither do the results. It's an all-field approach, can go gap to gap on a line, and he was a fun one to watch throughout this weekend.
Yeah, what I wrote down, he was a solid hitter. I did say watch out for, the separation of the hands, but it works for some people, and those that it works for, you just go, wow, he's an anomaly.
Breaking ball in, runner was on the move, Schubart was taking off, and so trying to find the strike zone. Rayner Castillo. By the way, with regard to Castillo, Santa is mom, Juan is dad, and his brother Saniel is in the Cardinals organization. And a young man who is, his brother's proud of him because he's a 6'5" right-handed pitcher already topping triple digits with a big, big arm.
It looks like Rayner's going to be on his way to maybe matching Big Brother, too.
Dylan Cupp, Cedartown, Georgia, Cedartown High School. He travels with a travel team. It's with Coach Etheridge, Wes Etheridge, and the East Cobb Astros. Uncommitted player at this point as a 23 grad.
Dylan's a player that continues to develop offensively every time we see him. Fouls went off there. We saw him earlier this last summer. It was the first time I got to see him. See him again this winter at our 14U main event. See him again at our 14U national about 6-8 months later. And it's like, oh, he's changed. He's developed physically. He's got the big, broad shoulders. He's going to continue to fill out. But he was always an advanced defender, and it's hopefully something we're going to get to see when he takes a ground ball or two here in live action.
National Junior Honor Society member, so the classroom has been taken care of. Every single grade, K through 9 to this point, all A's. So making it easier to be recruited with that kind of a report card and that kind of a GPA to start things. Boy, what a breaking ball. On 0-2, like he dropped it down an elevator shaft. That is a professional pitch.
That's almost not fair.
We've seen some secondaries here. I mean, that's a replicated arm slot, right on right. I mean, it's a back foot right on right breaking ball that you don't see often.
That was a buckle and a swing. That lets you know how nasty that pitch is.
A lot of scouting verbiage you just dropped on us. I like it. Replicated arm slot, right on right.
You like that?
I do like it. Hit hard on the ground, and it's hit hard foul. This is Nicholas Sanders out of Waco, Texas, University High School. 23, a non-committed athlete who plays for USA Prime North. Mark is dad, Veronica is mom.
We're going to get to see him behind the plate a little bit here in a few innings, but it's the offense that really helps Sanders stand out. He's got that big leg kick, got a little bit of a hand pump to it, but we've seen throughout this weekend he's on time, and the ball jumps.
Yeah, he puts a straight-up ghetto hack on that swing right there. He lets it loose.
Runners take off, a breaking ball and a hammer on 0-2. Down he goes on 3 pitches. My goodness, and you can see it. Castillo, after that breaking ball swing and miss a moment ago, relaxed. An effective fastball, and then gets another 0-2 with this one.
I mean, it's more of the same. The ability to hit his target, go to it, and the confidence on the mound is building with every pitch. He's working ahead better now, and it allows him to get to that breaking ball.
Yeah, he's making elite guys look, they're baffled.
Breaking ball, pretty one to Brady Neal out of Tallahassee, Florida. Plays for the legendary coach, does Neal, Mike Posey. More than 700 wins at North Florida Christian. 5-star national, his travel team. He's non-commit. Corey his dad, Kathy his mom. Brady Neal, very good catcher, swings and misses at a fastball right under his hands.
You go backdoor breaking ball to open it, then you go 87 and on the hands. And, I mean, it's a healthy hack here from Brady. He just misses it. He stays down through the ball. But, I mean, you might see a changeup here and just get the final pitch of the repertoire.
The 0-2 dives down and away. That's exactly what it was.
You know, I love my hitters, but right now I've been just eyeballing Castillo on the mound. This is just absolutely phenomenal watching a 14-year-old dominate elite hitters like this.
Something special. I mean, and then we got Brady in the box, Brady Neal. You talked about it earlier, the defensive ability, and it's elite stuff behind the plate. His ability to frame pitches, the way he blocks. I got to see him at the 14U WWBA, and the way he gets his thumb under pitches down in the zone really helps a pitcher when you can seal a strike or two on the outer half or down at the knees.
Yeah, and that's pure talent, being able to frame like that. You know, that's a lot of hard work. And facing guys like this and having to catch guys and framing fastballs and curveballs.
Blew him away, and he struck out the side. He got comfortable out there. A bright future, Rayner Castillo gets Brady Neal with an outstanding arm. Danny Wexelman with a quick conversation. Obviously, English is his second language. Danny, take it away.
Rayner, ¿cómo te sientes después de este momento?
Muy bien, gracias a Dios. Excelente.
Gracias.
Yes.
Darren, back to you.
All right, good stuff. That's exactly what we wanted. Danny Wexelman, very good stuff. Just struck out the side. All swinging. Big breaking ball set it all up. The 14U. Perfect game. Baseball Select Festival. Hey, by the way, Wednesday night at 7 o'clock Eastern, it's WNBA and it's a showdown. It's the Connecticut Sun. Look to stay hot when they host the Dallas Wings right here on CBS Sports Network. WNBA action. Select Fest rolls on, and the baseball handed to a very talented right-hander. As a matter of fact, the National Pitcher of the Year named last night at the 14U age group by Perfect Game. He's an undecided player with regard to his college commitment at a Blessed Trinity Catholic High School, where he's a freshman in McDonough, Georgia. Georgia Jackets National, his travel team. His name is Jake Lanky.
Yeah, he's our 14U National Pitcher of the Year. You just take a look at his stats, and the numbers jump off the page. You see here he's 6 foot 145, and that's probably true to him. But yet, at a time in the summer where players' velocities might start ticking down from just throwing as much as Jake did, his velocity's on the other end of the scale, and he continues to bump it up here every time we see him.
Riley Jackson is his foe for Team Sturts. Tanyan Sturts coaching. Long-time Major League starting pitcher in one dugout. Tom Flash Gordon, more than 20 years in the Major Leagues in the other. Team Sturts in those red jerseys, and this, Riley Jackson, digs in and takes a fastball high out of Oak Valley High School. Bobby Collins, his high school coach. In Melbourne, Florida, he's a 23 grad. Son of Bobby and Donna, Riley Jackson.
He's another player off that talented 5-star team. Him and Brady Neal are the catching battery for that, the tandem for 5-stars. So when you have a left-handed and a right-handed catcher with elite skill behind the plate at a 14U type setting in a tournament, you're doing all right.
Yeah, you are doing all right, especially the swing that I just seen right there. And like you was talking about, Brady and him being on the same team, and both of them have equally strong bats. That's what I liked when I saw them taking batting practice the last 2 days. And that was absolutely tough pitch to lay off right there. Lanky threw right there. That has some sharp bite to it.
Lanky's got 4 distinct pitches on the mound. So the velocity when it's up to 85, 86 from him, it's his ability to land the curveball, the slider, and the changeup.
Breaking ball hung, but it's popped up to the right side. Under it to put that one away out there at first base. Nolan Schubart, the big fella.
But yeah,
away with one that time.
Lanky has the 4 pitches. It's all out of the same slot. Really short arm action through the back. He's smiling. He got the out against Riley Jackson, a fellow Georgian. They've matched up between the Jackets and 5-star, much how Lonergan and Drew Burris from the first inning have.
Owen Egan, Yucaipa, California. Yucaipa High School. Ralph Grajeda, his head coach, lines it into center field, and it's a base hit. Welcome to the ball game, Owen Egan. The young man, a 23 grad. Dad Josh is a firefighter. Mom Katie is an RN, and he goes to work in his first shot.
That was a beautiful piece of hitting. Stayed through the ball right up the middle. As they say, didn't try and do too much. Pitch was up in the zone. He hung that pitch, and that's what you do with a hanger. You hit it hard.
Here's Derek Mitchell, the pride of Tempe, Arizona. Prestonwood Christian Academy. Mike Mack, the coach there, and he is an Arizona State University commit. And there's enough talent there, Dimitri, to also put him on the mound. As a matter of fact, Major League Baseball invited him out to their Breakthrough Series event during MLK weekend as a pitcher. I mean, he's that kind of an athlete, so he really has a lot to offer.
Yes, he does have a lot to offer, but the hitter in me would like for him to stay and develop in the outfield, become a Dexter Fowler with power.
Well, that's a nice comp, Jeremy. What do you got with that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Derek's a switch hitter, but the athleticism, like you said, the swing itself, it's real power from both sides of the plate.
Oh, definitely. He came to Elite Development Invitational, now the Hank Aaron Invitational. He came 2 years ago, and he said that he was 12, and he was practically the same, not the same height. Obviously, he grew and matured since then, but I was in straight laughter because this kid is physically gifted, and the kid is hungry. The kid wants to play, and he asks questions because I'm a switch hitter, and he's a switch hitter as well, and some of the things that I learned as a switch hitter, I just passed it along to him, and, you know, the people that he works out with in Arizona, he's in a good place right now.
He's got good family bloodlines with regard to athleticism. You know, you talked about the extended bloodlines of those that have Major League experience. But mom and dad, I mean, his dad, Danye, played college football. His mom, Dion, played college volleyball, both at Morgan State. So they understand the rigors of college athletics, how to time manage. They did it very well. He may be doing that in a couple of years for Tracy Smith in Tempe, Arizona. Back to the screen it goes.
You mentioned Derek's frame. He's already 6'3", and some of the kids on his team, the players, only come up to his shoulders, and they're very broad shoulders. He's not done growing. There's a lot of room for there, and he's already able to put the ball out of the yard. So at physical maturity, it's going to be something special.
I'm kind of interested to know what the parents' grocery bill each month is. The way that these kids are growing nowadays.
Late call of time, and he wasn't given it, and down he goes. So Mitchell was frustrated with that and ends up going down on strikes. Here's what happened.
Well, hopefully in the future he knows if he's going to step out and the umpire's not going to call it, do not swing.
Good point. Very good point. And it makes a lot of sense. He'll get another at bat. He'll get another opportunity. He's probably chomping at the bit to get that other opportunity. Is Blake Grimmer out of Spring Lake, Michigan. He's from Spring Lake High School, takes in and off the plate. He's a 23 grad.
The shortstops coming out of Michigan, it's become a trend lately. You know, we had Luke Lito here a couple years back, left-handed hitting left side of the infield.
One on the move, snap throw down to third, and it's a stolen base. Owen Egan swipes that one. Working behind the plate, showing that big arm. That's Brady Neal.
Yeah. In regards to Grimmer, it's another long, projectable body, and we got to see his swing throughout the weekend, and it's a really long, loose, and fluid swing that it's easy to dream on once he gets some man muscle to him.
And the one thing that I'm looking at right there, I'm looking at his grip, and the one thing that kids have to understand and the parents have to understand is as they grow, their hands grow, and a lot of kids, they choke the bat because their hands aren't big enough. Now his hands are more than big enough, but look where that top, in the top hand where the bat lies, it lays back in his thumb area, and that actually takes power away as opposed to rolling it up in your fingertips and having a stronger grip. And that's stuff that you learn over the years of hitting and then getting around people that know what they're doing when it comes to hitting and growth of a hitter.
Fastball's diving for Lanky right now. That last one there ran away from Grimmer in a 3-1 count.
Three and two the count. Fastball over the inner half. And so far, so good for Tanya and Sturt's team. As a matter of fact, Thomas White and Jake Lanky have combined to strike out 5. You get your 1 inning as a pitcher, and you take advantage of it at the Perfect Game Select 14U Baseball Festival. Scoreless ball game. Dimitri, you've watched these young hitters. You've advised these young hitters at the 14U Perfect Game Select Festival. And the thing that hitters understand is that when they're younger, they got to grip. They got to grind the bat. But as they get older, it fits nice and soft in their hands. And you've got 3 or 4 ideas that young hitters, as they progress, should really hone in on.
Well, I already talked about grip and having it more in your fingertips so you have more whip as opposed to choking the bat. And then plate position, these kids are also growing too. When you're 4'3" playing and then you grow, you know, you got to get yourself off the plate. Your arms get longer and things like that happen. And on top of that, minimizing the extra movement. You can get away with all the extra movement, but as you see, the guys are throwing harder. You're going to have to minimize the movement. As you see in the big leagues, a lot of guys have compact swings due to the fact that you have guys throwing in the upper 90s. And also knowing your contact points, where to hit the ball up the middle, when you pull the ball, and driving the ball away.
We'll talk about that throughout the rest of the evening. When you notice things like that, point it out to us. Lance Williams is on the mound. He's out of Shenandoah, Virginia, Page County High School, and he has had some moments this year. He pitched up in a 17U event and was incredible. And the right-hander goes to work against Dimitri Diamond out of Bishop Gorman High School. Coach Gina DeMaria in Las Vegas, Nevada. He's a 22 grad. As a matter of fact, Dimitri is a Georgia Tech commit. Side-wheeling breaking ball. By the way, a Virginia Tech commit, Williams.
Yeah, you see what Dimitri, what Lance does here on the mound. Lance Williams, I talked to him pregame while we were out shagging. I go, Lance, are we going to drop slot? He goes, oh, yeah. And you see him drop slot there quick, go back up for the breaking ball.
That was a tough at-bat right there for Dimitri. And I wonder how many times he gets his name misspelled, because I get mine misspelled all the time, even when I came here to my hotel room. That was just a nasty pitch right there. Tip your cap.
Fastball low, 1-0 the count. We'll tell you more about Diamond when we see him hit again. This is Dean West. Hello, Southern California. Dean West is home when he arrives back in Woodland Hills. Tom Dill's the head coach at Sherman Oaks, Notre Dame. A couple of years ago produced famed prospect Hunter Green, who was a #2 overall pick in 2017 and coming back from an arm injury where he's going to, in all likelihood, race pretty quickly to the big leagues. West, the San Diego Show, his travel team. He's got a perfect game MVP on his resume from earlier this year at a Super 25 PG event in Las Vegas.
Dean's slightly different than Hunter Green in regards to what he is on the field. Obviously, physically different, left-handed hitter, outfielder, but the talent's there. He's got a smooth, short little stroke from the left side, puts the ball in play, lets the speed play on the bases, covers ample ground in the outfield. He's got a little bit of everything to him.
Yes, he does. And like you say, he's a 2023 grad, so we're going to see a lot more of this growth as a hitter. And also with speed like that, I'm pretty sure he's a gap-to-gap guy. He probably has power, but his advantage is shooting the gaps and utilizing those wheels.
West takes outside, ball 4. Outstanding in the classroom. Let's go in the classroom as he introduces us to a teacher with impact.
A teacher that has impacted me in my life is probably Mrs. Oblander, because she just made everything a game. And then at the age of 3rd grade, you typically don't want to go to school. You just want to have fun, just be just a normal kid. And and for her to just make math and just English and just turn into like some type of board game like Monopoly, it's just fun.
What an impact you had on this young man. What an honor to have your name mentioned like that by a teacher several years past and by a young athlete, third grade teacher, Miss Oberlander. And now because of you, Miss Oberlander, and family, he's a dedicated student at one of the better and tougher private schools in California. Devin Marin out of Aventura, Florida, St. Thomas Aquinas. Very well-known high school in South Florida. Breaking ball down and away. On the move. Beautiful throw right on top of the bag. Wow, what a job. That's still Carson Bowen behind the plate.
That was pretty special there behind the plate.
Yes.
Quick transfer, release, throw right on the bag. Obviously, we talked about Dean's speed, so it's not a slow runner, and he got him. Bang, bang.
That is. Look at that form right there.
Stayed true to the plate, strides on line, doesn't open up that front hip.
Closes off that front side, doesn't he, as he gets ready to hit. The pitch misses outside. Marin's a Florida International commit. As we mentioned, Lance Williams on the mound, a Virginia Tech commit. Fastball. Looked like it got him. If it didn't get the bat, yep, it got him. So Marin is on, hit by a pitch.
We'll get to see Devin later and talk about what he did at the 14U National Showcase, but the numbers he put together there were pretty special.
Yeah, I was interested to talk about him. I marked him down as guys that I like watching hit during the 2 days of batting practice, and I'm pretty sure he came all the way to get hit in the belt.
Ryan Reckley takes a pitch just off the outside corner, and it gets the call for the strike. Reckley out of Nassau in the Bahamas. Elite Squad outlaws his team, the Global Academy, Bahamas Global Academy. A lot of thoughts and prayers with Dad Raymond with what's going on with the storm as Dorian races through the Atlantic, heads closer to Florida, and has settled on the Bahamas. He had spoken with his dad this morning. And his mom is Patricia, who is not. She's actually in Florida, but we'll certainly pause right now and just think of Dad. Is that breaking ball a good one? But it's low, and it's a take by Reckley. We understand where his thoughts may be. Who is Mr. Reckley as a baseball player? Why is he here?
He's a fast switch-hitting middle infielder. It's equal barrel skill from both sides, maybe a little more polish here from the left. The footwork up the middle is incredible. The hands, everything about him is just soft and athletic.
That sinker misses down and away, and he can fly. He really is one of the elite runners at his age group. In the Bahamas, it's a 100, it's a 200. He throws the discus. He plays basketball as well. And with the beach being nearby, and again, we hope that beach is okay, and we hope everyone's okay. A lot of his family and friends down there, but with the beach nearby, that's where he works out. I mean, he works out on the beach, does a lot of his running on the beach.
Before school, which starts at noon, as we found out yesterday.
Noon starts. Noon is the kickoff for school. Pitches in and off the plate. Throw down, not in time.
Another bag for Devin.
Devin Marin with a couple of stolen bases.
Here it is, another good jump from him. Off on first movement, and that makes two for Devin. Turns a hit by pitch into a triple, essentially, within a couple of pitches.
Are we looking at a future perennial 30-30 guy right here? Because, I mean, that was two explosive jumps. He looks like a guy that eventually is going to have that developing power to go to all fields.
Colton Wombles is the hitter. He's out of Salem, Alabama. Son of Ashley and Chad. And an outstanding wrestler as a young man. Real physical player. State champion in the state of Alabama a couple of years back as a young man.
He's another product of Russell County. It's a program with the Rasmus brothers that have come through that. We had a player last weekend at the 13U, Bailey Thorne, who's going to eventually come through the ranks there as well. And Colton just looks to be the latest in line from that program. Really strong, physical, like you mentioned, Darren. The strength in his hands is what stood out to me throughout the summer. Just his ability to drive the ball with such a short swing.
You looking at those Popeye forearms right there, Steve Garvey? That's impressive right there. 14 years old with forearms like that. That is some serious development right there. Did you ask him what he does to get those kind of forms right there? That's impressive.
1-2 the count. Little check swing on a breaking ball. It's rolled out towards short. Charging, fielding, firing. The play made behind the runner at second. A run scores. The Gordon squad enjoying things in the dugout. That was a really good effort at short, by the way, by Nico Perez, who tried to make that play.
I mean, it wasn't the hardest hit ball, but it gets the job done. I mean, he did all he could do here. A little check swing of sorts on a breaking ball down, but the moment he hit it, he knew it was going to be a tough play and went all out.
Yeah, that was the Willie Mays Hayes oops, and hustled all the way to first base, and it counts as a hit and an RBI.
There's a strike over the inner half to Jackson Willis. Oklahoma, Jackson Willis, Fort Cobb, Broxton High School. Dale Bellamy is his head coach. And he's an OU commit.
Oklahoma following his footsteps of his father, Reggie. He's a switch hitter like we just saw with Reckley. Again, similar to Wombles, really strong hands, short to the ball. From the left side particularly, he won the MVP at our 14U WWBA, and you're going to get to see why he won the honor and just how he won the honor.
Willett's former major leaguer, now the first base coach for the New York Yankees. Runner takes off. Pretty swing right on it. Back to the screen it goes.
I see what you're talking about right there, Jeremy. That was a nice compact swing right there. And I just love the loose hands that I've seen from the majority of the hitters. And that's what you have to have up there, especially guys that are throwing that hard. It's not how physical you are and try and muscle through your swing, because you're actually slowing down your bat. So less body, more hands, and get that whip like what you've seen right there.
1-2 the count. Good take on the breaking ball from Williams, the Virginia Tech commit.
We're seeing all sorts of angles and deliveries and tempos, and Williams is throwing everything at him. Breaking balls from down below, fastballs down below, sinking the fastball, running the fastball, doing a little bit of everything for his one inning here.
Yes, he is. It makes you wonder if he throws wiffle balls on the side.
Comfortable with spinning it, right? I mean, comfortable with the baseball in your hand, a bit of a throwback approach where it's not all taught up and lessened, if you will. Doing what he has to do to get out. So we were talking about that earlier, Jeremy and Dimitri. He pitched in the 17U WWBA this summer, just north of Atlanta, was up to 87, but playing with those 17U athletes, an all-tournament performer, in 2 games, 6 1/3 innings, 8 strikeouts.
Yeah, he's not just pitching, he's performing at the older levels. That one's fouled back. I mean, he's the ability to pitch. It doesn't matter if you throw 94 right now. You're facing wood bats. It's a different ball game when wood's in the hands of the hitters, and your ability to pitch and mix and hit your spots, change your slots, change your looks, it goes a long way right now in our tournaments.
Runners take off on the 3-2. The bases are loaded.
Well, that was a good at-bat right there by Willis right there, didn't bite, and that right there is what I like to tell my hitters, work on pitch selection, the pitch that you want to hit, and be ready to hit it, and plate discipline, being able to lay off the junk or non-strikes.
That one dives low and inside.
Matthew Austinfort here. He's our first player ever from South Dakota in the festival. We continue to look for players all over the country. Thomas White was the first player from Massachusetts ever. We got to see Stephen Millan earlier, first player from New Mexico. And Matthew Austinfort here is our first player from South Dakota, who we're going to get to see on the mound later on this game.
Doolin's Dodgers, his travel team, swings through that one on 2-0. Perfectly located pitch. Matthew's dad is Mark. His mom is Mary, and they deal with the cold just fine. He said, nobody has more hand warmers in the front seat of his truck, said Matthew, than my dad. He gets it. He knows how to deal with it. 2-1 the count. Good pitch, 2-2.
And you saw a big 2-0 hack. Usually in the summer with the bases loaded, if you're swinging 2-0 and you miss, you're going to get yelled at by your coach. But here, you have to go up there swinging.
Yeah, you better go up there swinging. That's your carrying tool. I'm not coming all the way to Fort Myers to walk.
Good pitch there from Williams, just misses.
How did you find him being from South Dakota?
He came to our 14U main event showcase in Fort Myers. Him and Dylan Cup were two players who came down. It's like, oh, he's from South Dakota. He's big and he's left-handed. Then he comes out on the mound and is up to 82, 83, 84 miles per hour, and we've continued to track him throughout the summer.
A walk and another run scores for Flash Gordon. Team Gordon leading it by a score of 2-0. An RBI for Austin Fort. This is Bryce Eldridge, Madison High School, Vienna, Virginia. He's a 23 grad. He's a non-committed left-handed hitter. As Eldridge takes low and down below the zone. Good sink on that pitch, though. Beth is mom, Ben is dad. Her older brother is Ben, too. Ben the third at home in Vienna. Pretty breaking ball, huh?
That's good for Lance after that last walk to go back to what he's comfortable with, get that curveball, get the feel for it again. Goes back door here to Bryce Eldridge and gets a strike to even up the count.
Good take on that one. When asked what life would be like, Bryce, when we run into him in 10 years, he said the following: I'll still be playing baseball, and I won't be a skinny, tall kid anymore. I'm going to be ripped.
Well, he definitely has the frame for it, and, I mean, that's when Mother Nature's going to take over. And by the time he's a junior, you know, he might be dunking basketballs instead. Yeah. Who knows?
Good point by you.
Yeah, he's a primary right-handed pitcher. We're seeing him here in the box. He's up to 88, 89 with tremendous sink, as you would imagine from a frame like that.
Back to the screen it goes. He has played basketball and played it well. He's played football, too.
Has he always been this tall, or did he have a serious growth spurt over the past year or so?
It's not a Thomas White where you jump 4 shoe sizes. He was 6'4" last year, came to a couple events, and...
Good breaking ball. Fun to see Lance Williams work, though. There were a couple of runs on the board. You can see why there's a bright future for this man. Not afraid to chain arm angles, not afraid to drop this spinner right down below the swing. Bryce Eldridge. Walter Ford out of Pace, Florida, Pace High School. He's an Alabama commit. Plays his travel ball for the East Coast Sox. Took a little tumble there. He's all right. Let's take you off camera for a minute, Walter, and let's learn how you do what you do on the mound.
My name is Walter Ford. I'm from Pace, Florida, and I throw a fastball, slider, and changeup. My fastball tends to have some arm side run to it. My slider has almost a power slider, really. It goes from side to side and a lot of down. And then my changeup, it's just a normal changeup. It just drops down slower than a fastball.
He touched 88 twice in the 15 and 16U age groups at the WWBA. Has thrown 88 across the infield at the 14U National Showcase. The son of Faith and Brad getting ready to face Nicholas Perez out of Isabela in Puerto Rico. His name is Walter Ford.
Goes by Walter. First name, born name, given name, Bryant. He's committed to Alabama, named after Bear Bryant. Even though he's from Florida, that's almost a given that he was going to end up committing there.
Nicholas Perez. Nico drives it toward right field. Diving attempt. We're going to watch him run. That helmet comes off. Devin Marin with a good effort. Into third. Standing up with the triple.
You know, the most impressive thing about the triple was the helmet flip. That was something I did in my career, and that was because of the Sarge, Gary Matthews. I love that helmet flip right there.
How about this swing, Dimitri?
There he was. He stayed on the pitch. It was up and away. And that's what you do with that pitch.
Just drives the ball. Look at how far the ball carries to the opposite field here. Then the speed, once the ball gets down, he ran a 6'4" at our 14U National, which is unreal for a 14U player. That's Speed's usually the last tool you see develop. For Nico, it's obviously at the forefront of his skill set.
So a triple for the young man out of Isabela in Puerto Rico, a 22 grad Nicholas Nico Perez, the son of Tanya and Joel. This is Austin Rowley, Rancho Cucamonga, California. 1-1 the count on Austin. He's a 23 grad. Got some family ties with regard to baseball. His dad, Tim, played college baseball, and he plays a lot. If there's an event, he'll find it. A lot of perfect game events. 4 times he's been all-tournament at a PG event. Played in other events as well out there in California. Just really active. Good in the classroom, too. Principal's role, honor roll.
Jeremy, you made a comment about this young gentleman when they had the long-distance derby, and you told him, oh, you're just going to hit line drives up the middle. And that's the approach that I'm seeing from him right here. And that just made me laugh, and that's how you remember people, by seeing little things or hearing things. And that's what I like about this young man here.
It speaks to his barrel control and overall balance in the box, as he's able to just stay. He repeats everything really well, and he's obviously at shortstop, a fluid defender, heads-up player. CBA's had a long tradition of shortstop prospects coming through from the same hometown as former PG All-American Tyler Freeman, shortstop, who also played for CBA.
High pop-up left side, and so we'll do it again on a 3-2 count. Rolig played at a youth event up in upstate New York years ago. No, not that many years ago, a couple of years ago. And he homered. He homered on a nationally streamed game, World Wide Web streamed game. They're racing, but they're not quite sure what they're racing for now. They can't find it. Chases up and out of the zone. Perez stays at third. Nico at third. A big strikeout there from Walter Ford. They got it? You got it, guys?
Something I'd like to mention before this next hitter gets up. During regular baseball, you know, during the season or whatever, you would want him to shorten up and try and get that run in, especially with the infield being back. They were going to give up the out for the run. And so just for normal baseball, but for all-star purposes, you swing away.
High and inside, Nazir Muley out of Patterson, New Jersey. Muley Passaic County Technical Institute, a 22 grad and a finalist for Perfect Game's National Player of the Year, won by Termar Johnson. Lined into center field, ranging over and running that one down.
Good barrel
there by Dean West, a good barrel, and it is an RBI, a sac fly and an RBI for Muley.
Nazir here he's a special player, one we're going to get to see on the mound later on, and similar to what you said here, he just shortens up and does what he has to do to drive the run in.
Yeah, that's baseball right there, ABC baseball. Once you go into professional ball, these are going to be the important things to do in order for you to move up and become a big league ball player. You have to do these things. Move the runner over, hit and run, hit the ball on the ground. The runner on third base, less than 2 outs, get with the infield in, get it to the outfield, or just put the ball in play with the infield back.
They're going to appeal if he left early. Well, gamesmanship going on down there.
Runs matter here.
Ash Gordon's team with an appeal. An appeal in a select festival. I love it. Jackson Mackenzie's out of Pace, Florida, Pace High School, our second athlete from Pace High School. Oh, yeah, he didn't leave early. Come on now.
A little begging going on out there.
Jackson swings right over the top of that one, and this is his high school teammate he's facing, by the way. Mr. Ford.
Bragging rights here on the line.
How about that? You have a school that has 2 reps, and they're facing one another. Tried to get him to chase high. Now Jackson, he's a talented left-handed pitcher. He's a Mississippi State University commit. Dad Brooks is a firefighter and an EMT, and Mom Amy very involved in softball. As a matter of fact, a legendary player at Alabama.
Baseball, softball runs through that family, and already committed to Mississippi State. We got to see him throw yesterday on the mound. Really good curveball, pounded the strike zone. Good arm over at first base, and going to work a count here against his future high school teammate.
Yeah, that's fun to see these 2 guys facing one another. A mile high, a sinking fastball. Tried to drop the bat head on it. Tough to do. Put away out there at second base by Jackson Willis, a young man out of Oklahoma. Sac fly and an RBI by Millan, the pride of New Jersey. 2-1 is the score.
Welcome back. We have a really special announcement to start this half inning off. Nico Perez, what do you want to tell everybody?
I'm just happy being here. I want to thank God to give me this opportunity and thank my family members and just having fun.
And the big announcement that Nico's waiting to tell everybody that you're committing to.
I'm committing to Florida State University.
So we have Sal Stewart, Jaden Melendez here helping him out. Guys, really quickly, why is it so special to see a guy like him? He just came home, got his team on the board, got a triple. He has electric energy. Why is it so special?
I think it's just a special moment. Obviously, he has the talent. He has great talent to be here, and so, of course, it's going to be a great opportunity. The FSU got a great player and a great kid, so.
And quickly, Nico, tell me, what does it mean to you to go to this school? Mike Martin obviously retiring. They just had a great College World Series run. Mike Martin Jr. now stepping in. Why are you so excited to go there?
Well, it means a lot. I just like the facilities. I love the baseball field. It obviously is a great academic school, and as well as I like Mike Martin Jr. very much. It means a lot.
Amazing, guys. Congratulations, Nico. Darren, back to you.
Congratulations, Nico. You've got a place to play in a couple of years. Nico Perez out of Puerto Rico committing to Florida State University tonight. And that's fun, as that one is fouled back to the screen. The second opportunity for Stephen Millan. Matthew Matthias is on the bump out of Greensville, North Carolina, D.H. Conley High School. And he is a UNC North Carolina commit. Plays for the respected Canes National Travel Program.
You're seeing him on the mound here, gather on the backside and drive down the mound, creating big-time angle on that fastball. It's a straight over-the-top slot. He's been up to 90, 91 in the past, working upper 80s right now, and it's not easy because there's obvious plane to the fastball to get it down in the strike zone, and he's showing it right now.
That he is, and he's going up against a tough hitter right here, and being able to locate, especially for a smaller stature hitter right there, it's quite the battle.
Millan, who walked his first time up, comes back in the fourth. The young man out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. Certainly proving a table setter. By the way, Stephen's parents, both alums of New Mexico State, Stephen and Marcy. And now Drew Burris, his second opportunity, struck out back in the first inning. The Perry, Georgia native in the hole, 0-1.
As you mentioned, Matthews on the Canes national squad, Drew Burris on the 5-star. They've matched up before this summer. And talking to Drew prior in this summer circuit season, he has the IQ and aptitude to remember what every pitcher he's seen, what they throw, what he does, and not what you see at the 14U level, but that's also why Drew's so advanced in the batter's box, why he was our offensive player of the year. It's little things like that. You can remember the breaking ball here for Matthews, his go-to pitch, and we'll see Drew here work the count.
Runner on the move. Throw down on a hop. And a stolen base there. Riley Jackson is behind the plate now for Tanyan Sturtz's team.
Oh, that was one beautiful jump right there. Had a little shuffle on top of that.
Got in there pretty easy.
That one sails high, 2-1 the count.
And now the situation changed. You have a runner on second base, no outs. And like I was talking about in the high school season, and as you watch part of development, a runner on second base, no outs, you want to move the runner over to third. Especially when you have a 2-1 ball game, you have elite pitchers versus elite pitchers. But this is also a showcase game on television. And these kids are going to try and look their darndest. But seeing his approach, even though he's behind on the pitches, he looked like he's trying to stay through the middle.
Good sinking fastball. Down he goes. Burris on strikes. Good life to that pitch.
Yeah, there's a plane we talked about. There's cut to it. And when you're as tall as Matthias is, getting on top of that fastball, it's going to be tough to elevate that ball, let alone put it in play.
That ball looked like it shifts gears.
Cam Collier, the Louisville commit. This is travel ball for Marquise Grissom's baseball group. The legendary world champion and great outfielder, does great things with travel ball in the Atlanta area. Cam plays for his team. Mount Perrin Christian is where he attends school. He's a freshman, and that breaking ball is inside.
And just to let you know, they moved from Chicago to Atlanta this summer, so Cam will be able to be a part of that great baseball that's in Georgia, not to mention Lou Collier, his father, who I coached with during the Hank Aaron Invitational and the Breakthrough Series, and also in the WWBA tournaments. And seeing Cam over the last few years, and Lou brings him out for the 2 weeks. He's there with the younger kids, his group, and then he's there with the high schoolers, the guys that are eventually going into the draft, and he looks like one of the players there. So he's being around older ball players, and that's maturing him in itself.
2-2 the count on Cam. Runner takes off, pitches high, throw down, great speed flying into that bag by Millan. Hanging in there with the tag, trying to stick it as long as he could. Braden Holcomb, the third baseman.
That's some absolute talent right there, running those bases right there. I see why you like him.
Oh, yeah.
I like him, too.
A good throw from Riley Jackson there, too.
Swung right through that one. Down goes Collier, back-to-back strikeouts. And here's Manuel Beltre. He grounded out to short. Had a good sinking fastball he had to deal with last time up. In his perfect game career, Beltre 251 plate appearances, an on base of 554.
He's not afraid to play, and he performs every time he does play, so maybe that's why he continues to keep playing, because every time he swings the bat, it seems like he's finding a barrel.
I'd keep playing if I was able. Why not?
Why not?
Well, you know what? It's a young man's game, and obviously you hear about the passion for him to have that many plate appearances already at 14, and this is a repeat.
It's a couple of years, obviously, but
and this is his second time here, so
yep.
You know, that just lets you know that he goes after it real hard. And this, I mean, we see future ball players at a younger age, and you just see that intangible, that it factor. And I see that in this young man right here.
Loving to play, Dimitri, loving to play. Give me a game, I'll go to it. I want at bats, I want to play. In on the hands, really good pitch, tight. Going over the cover of the bag, a little underhand flip to Matthias. That was a good, strong inning. And he made a tough pitch to a very talented ball player, Manuel Beltre. The 14U Perfect Game Select Baseball Festival. Well, you come all this way, and what you want to do is enjoy the action, top step in it. It's been that way in both sides, both dugouts. The Perfect Game Select Baseball Festival, the 14U age group. Last weekend, the inaugural 13U event in Norman, Oklahoma. The color analyst in that one's right in your shot. He's the coach this week, Tom Flash Gordon. We talked a little bit when we had the opportunity earlier about Matthew Ossenfort when he had a bat in his hands, a young man out of the Doolins Dodgers program, but out of South Dakota, Sioux Falls Christian High School. Hops up on the bump and gets ready to go. He's facing Connor Bennett. Bennett out of Spring, Texas, Oak Ridge High School. Flash looking on. Bennett's a 23 grad, and away we go.
See Ossenfort here on the mound. Deliberate, rhythmic tempo, big gather on the backside, shorter through the back though with his arm action, and it should lead to a lot of strikes here for Matthew.
Right back to the screen, and a pretty swing. Connor Bennett, strong in the classroom, Connor, by the way. He's a freshman this year, but he is enrolled in all of his core subjects, AP level. So he is an AP student right out of the gates in all of his core subjects. Breaking ball. Pop foul into the seats.
What I've seen out of all these hitters here, most of them have a nice compact swing, short through the zone. It looks like they had the approach to go gap to gap. They want to use the entire field.
Got to see Bennett a lot this summer. Though he was not the most physical player on his team, his ability to whip the barrel as hard as he does and turn on the ball with as much authority as he can speaks to the overall looseness of his swing.
Yeah, it's a real nice swing right there. And seeing these swings that are very mature at this level, 14 years old, a lot of times you're doing a whole lot of correcting, but then again, these are the best players in the nation.
Glove side fastball, inner half. That's one of the toughest pitches to master, and it was just mastered right there by Matthew Ossenfort. That is a beautiful pitch.
And he does it with life, too. Brings it right back in. Catcher frames it up pretty well, and, I mean, all around, that was at 83, 84 miles per hour. There's not much you can do with that pitch.
Ariel Antigua out of West Palm Beach, Florida, Trinity Christian Academy. As you heard from Dimitri, takes a good-looking breaking ball for strike one.
That was absolutely nasty. A nasty hook like that after throwing that cut fastball.
The 0-1 fouls off that fastball. 0-2. Here's the pitch, Dimitri, you were talking about.
Yeah, look at this pitch. You know, I'm looking for fastball right there, and you just get that whoop. Nothing you can do. You just look at frozen pizza.
Yeah, we've already seen the fastball, the curveball, and the changeup from Ossenfort. And as a hitter right now, there's no telling what you're going to see.
He's got an 0-2 count. Right off the end of the bat, dumps it into right center field. Sliding play in center field. That one run down out there. And a fine job by Burris. Wow, Drew Burris with a sliding play.
We talk about his hitting ability, but the defense has really come along this summer. You see it here. The arm strength continues to tick up. The first step on that play to track it down on what could have gotten down and become extra bases.
And you know what? When you make it out and you go out in the field, you want to take a hit away from somebody, and that's exactly what he did right there. Oh, he got a beat on it, too. Look at him. He comes in, nice sliding play, put a little style into it.
And Antigua put a good swing on that, too. Outer half fastball 0-2, dumps it into right center field. Probably felt like a hit off the barrel until Burris was there sliding underneath it.
Yeah, he went for the soft serve and almost won.
RCA City, Louisiana, the hometown of Trenton Lape out of Parkway High School, where he plays for Coach David George. This is a 23 grad who's a non-commit. That one misses up and out of the zone. He did some good things, like at the 14U Sunshine South Showcase. He was up to 89 on the mound. 89 from the infield, ran a 7.2260. Off speed, strike three. Look at that reaction by Ossenfort. Yeah!
Over both lines.
Woo-hoo, having fun. I love that energy. How about this? Watch this reaction when he gets strike three. Bang! Glove side. I traveled all this way.
Reminiscent of Irv Carter right there.
Yes, it is.
Through four. Having fun in Fort Myers, Florida. Ought to be young again.
Hey, welcome back. We are celebrating in tonight's 14U Select Festival. I have Tayshawn Walton. Tayshawn, you have some exciting news for us. What would you like to share?
I'll be committing to the University of Miami.
So we have Irv Carter here and Renzo Gonzalez, who are also commits. What would you want to say welcoming this guy to the Miami family, Irv?
The vibe is gonna be amazing there, and you're gonna soak in a lot there. It'll be a lot of fun with you. It's gonna be good, yes sir.
Tayshawn, how did you make this decision? What stands out to you about this program?
First is Miami. The campus is great, the coaching staff, and it's signed with Adidas, so yeah, that's it.
Amazing. Congratulations, guys. Congratulations. Back to you, Darren.
That's great stuff. I love that. That's what makes it fun tonight. I mean, it really, really is. H, are you surprised that that's a fit for him?
No, I mean, he's big, he's physical, he's going to hit for a lot of power, and that ballpark's going to play well to all of his suits.
Hey, that's where I was going to college. I was going to the U, and he has the matching chain already.
Ford getting his opportunity to hit earlier when his time came around to swing the bat. He was warming up in the bullpen. Garol Wyatt is on the mound, as that one is outside and off the plate. Wyatt out of Westport, Connecticut, the King School. Coach Ryan Quinn, his high school coach. He's a 23 grad, and this is a really great baseball player and a really strong student. But Jeremy's a bit of a story of persistence and putting your game in front of regional showcase scouts and then the national level.
So we talked at the Open, how do these rosters come together? One of the big things is our 14U regional showcases. Me and Dimitri talked about this as well. Hero came to our 14U Northeast. We had never seen him. He didn't have a perfect game profile. His first event for us. comes there, touches 85. That puts him somewhat on the national scene. Gets picked up by one of the big travel programs, played the rest of the summer for Team Elite, goes down, ends up making the USA trials. From there, comes to our 14U National, ultimately selected for the festival. So in the grand scheme of things, coming to the 14U Northeast Showcase really opened a lot of doors for Hero. Obviously, the talent on the mound speaks for itself. Fast, loose, whippy arm. Been up to 88 in the summer and has really opened eyes everywhere he's gone.
Team Elite National, his travel team, and he had an opportunity to play in the 14U WWBA, as Jeremy talked about. Was up to 88 and struck out 6 in his work. Just had a lot of impact. Dad played college basketball. Grandpa played college basketball for Wyatt. And he's a young man that was a varsity hurler as an 8th grader.
And we've said this for some, that he's still nowhere near physical maturity. Some kids here are way more physical than your typical 14U. There he goes, gets one over. Hero, he's still working out of the stretch. You see that a lot at this age where you're just trying to keep things simple on the mound. Every fastball right there, 87. Every one so far is between 85, 87. Long arms, whippy arm action, and the sky's the limit for this arm.
Boy, it's easy, 2-2 the count. He did something really positive the other day in anticipation of his visit to Golisano Children's Hospital. He and his mom got together, his mom, Tamami, and they built and put together organic small bags, small burlap organic bags with rice in there, organic rice, and then just comfortable smells, menthol and lavender. And the way he put it together, when you're going through chemotherapy, the nausea that comes along with, it comforts you. It comforts your senses. He built 80 of those and brought them to the patients. As that one's inside, that's ball 4. And that, to me, goes well beyond who you are as an athlete. He did that on his own. No one asked him to do that, and it was incredible. Danny, I know you have a little bit more.
Yeah, Darren, that was so special to see. I actually have one of those bags with me in my bag to carry around, and just the emotion on Hero's face, being able to hand those out and kind of see the kids take to them. The other thing I wanted to add about him is that he grew up playing Little League baseball every summer in Japan. He was born in New York. He moved to Japan at 2 and then moved to Hawaii, and now he's in Connecticut with his family. But just overall, an incredible young man who's seen the world and wants to give back.
Doesn't want a lot of attention, shies away from his efforts in doing so, Hero Wyatt. This is Dillon Cup, who in his PG career has ridden about a .450 on base percentage. Very successful performer at the higher levels. Good cut to that pitch, 1-1 the count.
Once Hero here starts filling up the zone, with that sinking life, he's going to get a ground ball contact. It's a matter of when, not if. And with the middle infield pairings he's got right now, you look for 2 as he delivers another strike here.
Snap throw, pick off throw, nothing doing that time.
Now what I see out of Hero, he's throwing from a high 3/4 angle. He's very whippy, and those guys that had that sinker slider motion like that, sometimes it's very hard to control. And so that's what I'm seeing right now. But when he gets it down, he's unhittable.
Everything moves, everything dives. Yeah. It's moving in toward those hands. 2-2 the count.
He's working a little quick down the mound right now, pulling it across his body, really putting a lot of quickness through the zone, through the back, and kind of rushing down the mound. But as he stays more tunneled and direct to the plate, it's going to help everything that comes out of his hand.
And that'll be the maturity part, him growing and, working with the right people to hone that skill right there, because that's something to work with right there. Make me glad to be a switch hitter.
Didn't mean to, rolls it up the first base line. Favorite teacher, Dillon Cup, the man in the batter's box. He says it's Coach Evans. Says he's my favorite because he kept me in line. He'd pop by the classroom. He'd pop by out of school, checking in on me every day. He would walk by his class. He'd call me in. I'd go to him whenever I needed to talk about baseball life or whatever was on my mind. I think very highly of that man, and I thank him for where I am today. Bouncing ball, middle of the diamond. Back behind the bag, little flip, trying to turn it. The throw was wide. Trying to turn that double play and get it started. Grimmer and Millan in the middle of the infield. And instead, a run crosses the plate for Team Gordon. They lead it 3-1. There was that ground ball you were talking about, though, Jeremy.
Yeah, and if it was anywhere else, it was chopped up the middle. Tough play for Millan there to turn around and spin throw. He did his best. He barehanded the throw from Grimmer, but the way he's turned here, he has to almost do a 180. And runner did stay at first, though.
And you know what? I would rather see Millan do that kind of play instead of trying to be textbook, because, you know, sometimes when you're textbook,
doesn't always work.
No, not at all. Oh, got a good secondary right there.
Immediately. Doesn't slow down. Easy run. Goes up 3-1 now for Flash.
And a nice little celebration.
Hero got his first out here. Garol Wyatt comes back, first pitch strike. Obviously, the confidence is going to build now. Getting that out, getting the first pitch strike. You're on national television at 14U. I mean, there's nerves, and it's going to happen, but everyone's going to settle in, and we're still going to see this special stuff coming out of his hand.
Like that pitch right there. Do an absolute frisbee. Look at that.
Same slot.
That's nasty.
We said it earlier, replicated arm slot. You can call it tunneling the pitch, which means the hitter's seeing it looking like a fastball until it's too late.
Nicholas Sanders drives it toward right center field. It's down for a base hit. Using the big part of the ballpark, hustling into third is Cup. With the head first slide, and the ball trickles away on the throw to the trail base runner. Another run will score. Here comes Sanders to the plate.
All right.
Where's Sanders going? He just kept running and running and running.
He was finding the grounds crew to celebrate with.
How about this?
That was a great piece of hitting right here.
Really good swing.
But right here, I was wondering why the throw is going to third right here, because right here, you take away the double play, and because of that, you got a snowball fight going on, and all runs scored.
That throw, though, in from Miller was a bazooka. But it got cut.
Yes.
I know that we talk about the textbooks where the throw should go, but that was a hose.
Yes, it was. And here you're here to show off those skills, but I like to explain regular baseball for people that are listening, and I don't want them to get the wrong ideas. That's baseball.
Gets behind it well and comes through it. Aiden, the two-way player of the year, obvious arm strength, and we're going to get to see it here later on once he takes a mound. Look at that red hair.
Oh, man.
I love it.
He's on fire.
And we got Hero here, Garol Wyatt up 0-2 again. Now he's really mixing in that slider, getting that light action to it. Just broke a bat with it. The fastball goes one way, slider's going the other way. As he gets his momentum and directionality down the mound, it's going to result in more broken bats than not, I think.
Yeah, he has that kind of stuff that you're going to break your bat a lot. And truth be told, this is my favorite thing to watch in baseball. It's not the home run, but it's watching a pitcher shatter somebody's bat for an out. Not the bat dies a hero, but I'm talking about a three-hopper to the pitcher, and the guy's jogging to first base, shaking his hands in pain.
You like that?
Yeah, because I used to have that, and the people in the dugout go, jam.
Got it. Oh, I love it. I mean, the pitcher in me loves it. I was just surprised you like it.
I like it.
It's a little respect to the pitcher. I like that.
It's definitely respect to the pitcher, but it's also comedy to us hitters who like to crush the ball, and every now and again we get humanized.
Funny how that happens, chasing up and out of the zone. Brady Neal, that's the second out of the inning. Nothing straight again from Wyatt. That one with some jump to it into the other batter's box.
What else is funny about that situation? You break a bat, go back to the dugout. Not a lot of guys volunteering their bat when they're looking for another piece of lumber quick.
No, especially when they get bats given to them. I'm not giving you my bat.
Good slider there from Garol Wyatt. Dean West digging in for his second at bat here. As Darren mentioned, out of California. You got two really projectable prospects here.
West drives that one. into center field. Woodland Hills, California native. The fly ball out. There might have been a few runs he might not have enjoyed giving him up, but boy, what a bright future. Tanyan Sturt's longtime major leaguer. He should have a positive coach. There's a future for Wyatt.
Hey, welcome back. It is all Team Gordon thanks to Nick Sanders, 5-1 right now. How good do you feel coming home on that?
Man, I feel amazing, man. I knew going to that second pitch, I swung and missed, but I was thinking third pitch, this guy can't beat me. You know, his fastball is pretty flat, sidearm guy. But I knew slider, if he didn't do that slider again, I would have bat flipped. I'm not even going to lie, but I feel good.
Quickly tell me, in 10 years, you had one of my favorite answers. Exactly where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I said in 10 years, I'll be living in California with a hot babe, you know, three boys, 2 girls, a big house, 2 foreign cars, you know, and if not, I'm probably going to move back to Waco, Southside, you know.
Nick Sanders, congratulations. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Guys, back to you.
Thank you very much, Danny. Our G-form play of the game. This is Sanders. Gets the foot down. Uses the big part of the ballpark. A couple of beneficial throws his way, and he was off to the races. Claims he's Southern California bound with 5 children and his lovely wife. I'll clean that up just a little bit. Adulted, if you will. If not, back to Waco, Texas. He's fun. He's a lot of fun.
Oh, 10 years, 5 kids.
All planned out. Nolan Schubart is on the mound. He's a Michigan commit out of Durand, Michigan. We've seen him hit already. And, of course, we've seen him do very good things at the 16U WWBA earlier this summer. He was up to 89 miles an hour.
It's a pitch that continues to climb for Nolan. I mean, we saw the velocity from first base at the 14U National, 87 across, and I'd expect something big here out of his right arm.
Pours that one in there to Jacob Schultz out of Memorial High School in Houston, Texas. This is a non-commit and the son of Ellen and Jeff. One of 4 children at home, a couple of adult children in the Schultz family. He considers himself a talented 2A prospect as Jacob.
Jacob, we're going to get to see him here later on in the mound. They say everything's bigger in Texas, but I just learned he's actually from Seattle, Washington, but he does live in Texas now. He just moved recently, so I think it'll still work for him.
Right, he moved there, and like in the first month, he grew like 3 inches.
We'll give him that. There's no doubt.
The 1-2 is a breaking ball inside corner. Schubart shows that pitch off, and a nice wraparound, pulling that pitch in for a strike. Nice job behind the plate as well.
Yeah, I got framed up there for him.
Oh, that was a generous strike zone right there.
Jacob thinks he takes ball 2. Hopefully he gets that zone 2.
That's Colton Wombles, by the way.
Yeah, Wombles has been stealing some pitches for his guys so far. Schubart here sinking the fastball well at 88 miles per hour already, and that life on it's for real.
I'm looking forward to this battle right here, watching Tamar Johnson go up against. Ooh.
1-1 the count to Tamar Johnson. 3.9 GPA in the classroom. Beta Club member. Top 10 student in his class. He's a sophomore now. Mays High School. Reginald Austin is his head coach. It's a good, fun family to be around. Older brother Tervel was at Perfect Games National Showcase. Kim, his mom. Terry, his dad. Also brothers Tervant and Terenz. Spirited, energetic, funny young man.
Well-spoken and not afraid of the spotlight.
No.
At this age, he's the one looking for it when most are running from it.
Yep, little roller. He's on the move, hustling up the line. There's the speed. Didn't matter what was going to occur with Ryan Reckley out of the Bahamas. It was a chance for Tamar to run.
You know, I've seen him the last 3 years, and this kid is all about playing the game hard. You know, everything he does is hard, and he has a will not to go out there to play. He goes out there to win. And that's winning baseball right there.
That was a nice play from Reckley, too. It redirected on him a little bit. He was able to get the backhand out and still made a strong throw across.
Aiden Miller was walked and stranded back in the first. Perfect Games National Player of the Year is named last night. On the move. Good sinking fastball called a strike. Thrown out by Wombles. Did he get him? He did. And a nice job again by Reckley hanging in there, finally popping that tag in. Tamar got busy, did some dancing around, but a nice, beautiful throw by Wombles. Great tag by Reckley.
That was just a nice play all around, and if Tamar somehow avoided that, then
yeah, nice footwork, but hey, you might have to blame it on those tight pants for him not being able to get to second in time.
Just got him on the knee.
Breaking ball hits the outside corner.
89 there from Schubart.
And looking at that lead, he probably could afford to get another half step, and that would have made the difference between him being safe and out.
Just missed the outside corner. I'm going to give Schubart some credit, too. A lot of it, because you want to rush, you want to do your thing in an all-star event like this. It was a long pause on the mound. He was very comfortable locking him down a little bit. High fly ball, well struck left field. Toward the wall, on the warning track. The play is made. There was some oohs and ahs when Aiden Miller hit that one. But in the end, that one is hauled in. Oh, Mr. Miller, you just missed it. I mean, just missed it. Picked on a breaking ball. Schubart, a nice inning of work out there.
Hey, welcome back. It's Top 6. I've got Jared Goodwin here, the National Scouting Director for Perfect Game. Stumbling on your name, but I know you're not going to stumble on this answer. Technology, that's what we're going to talk about for a second. There's a lot going on in the game. Diamond Kinetics is someone who Perfect Game has been counting on for a long time. As the National Scouting Director, what are you looking for with this technology?
From the scouting side, it's easy. We're looking at really a two-part thing. We're looking at the barrel speed, which we want over 70. And we're looking at the impact momentum, which we want over 27. And we've done a lot of research with Diamond Kinetics. They've given us a lot of feedback for tons of hitters over the years. And elite high school hitters have those two traits. So it's 70 on the barrel speed and 27 on the impact momentum. And if we get both of those, typically we're going to find guys that can really produce. And these guys coming into their freshman year, we already have a handful of guys that are consistently showing those two metrics. So if they can come in and they can compete in game and recognize pitches and things like that, we're going to get great specs as they develop over the years.
And what about for the moms and the dads out there? What should they pay attention to with this technology?
Wow, it's the consistency and being able to actually track what they do in BP versus what they're doing in a game. And if we can consistently do that, we can take some of the visual things that are tough to do for parents, and we can actually give them data for what their kids do well in the cage and then how they can translate that into the game.
Jared, man, you didn't stumble once. Thank you.
You got it.
Guys, back to you.
Yeah, that's outstanding stuff. I know, Jeremy, you look at these metrics as well. Curlin, Tamar Johnson, Cam Collier, help us understand what we're looking at there.
Yeah, Jared mentioned the numbers, and when you look at the averages against what our former All-American Classic members have had, what all the future first-rounders have had, those big numbers, those fit right in with the big boys, despite being at the 14U level.
Max barrel speed, the maximum speed at the barrel on the sweet spot. Max acceleration, you can see the ACC, how quickly a batter speeds up their swing from start until impact with the baseball. And you saw the last one, impact momentum. It combines the speed, acceleration, and the weight of the bat into one measure. That's what creates exit velocity, yet it combines it in a very, very unique way. High bat speed's not enough.
And it's cool because the numbers, you can see how, but you can see what comes off the barrel. This is telling us how it comes off the barrel, what leads into it.
Now, what I noticed with Schubert and his stance, how tall does he stand again?
6'4", 6'5", and he's every inch of it.
Yeah, and look where he's standing on home plate right there. And what I was saying, with his long wingspan and guys pump it up like that, the plate, your plate position right there, as he get older and taller, he's going to have to learn how to back off the plate, especially guys throwing that hard tread like that. And right here, you can see where his back toe is in conjunction of where the line where it's faded and home plate, the inside part of home plate. So a lot of people will move up on the plate so he can get to that outside pitch, but he has long arms, he can do that.
No doubt. Yeah, we got to see him during BP really pull his hands in on the ball, hooked him down around the pole, and the power's for real. And as you said, as he continues to refine everything, grow physically, that's a monster in the left-handed batter's box.
Breaking ball has him diving out of there. He is Devin Marin, the FIU commit. Mom is Stephanie Feliz. Stepfather is Sharon Arad, and his brother is Jacob. Mother Jacob Arad.
Well, this time he didn't get hit. So I'm looking forward to seeing this nice, powerful stroke right here, because I like the position that he's in. Nice, loose hands in an erect position. Ready to take a man's hack right there.
As he did. Good fastball there from Trenton Lape. He's working 85, 88 already. We saw him in the batter's box. It's just a live athletic body. He was up to 92 from the outfield at the 14U National, upper 80s across, already up to 88 on the mound. The ball jumps. Everything out of his hand is just live and electric.
Lape beat him with the fastball there. I mean, really beat him. Started down the middle, had some good run in on the knuckles, and Marin is out number 1 in this inning.
And that athleticism, how he runs just down the bases, moves at third base, and his ability on the mound, obviously it's not a PO mindset for him. He's a two-way type, and every time he gets on the mound, the reps, everything's going to become cleaner for him. And that upper 80s, it's going to slowly click into the low 90s.
Yes, we saw him get in on Marin's hands like that, and Marin has quick hands.
Those are fast hands, too.
Yeah, and that ball had some hard run.
Berkeley wags that bat, takes a pitch off the plate, 1-1 the count. Berkeley was fun last night. I'll show you some pictures from the event overall and some video here a little bit later on of the awards celebration banquet, but he came up as part of a panel talking about time management and growing as a student. Heck, he even battled something. That's a heck of a breaking ball from Lape. He battled something that it's not a surprise, especially when you're traveling over water to a place that doesn't feel like home all the time. He said, I finally got up the courage to go play, and I'm glad my parents supported me to go play some travel ball, but I got homesick. And I missed home. I missed the comforts of home, the way I trained, my regimen. And when asked something that he overcame as an obstacle, he mentioned that, getting more comfortable traveling a little bit. He said, I'm glad I did, because I love playing against guys like this.
I'd miss being in the Bahamas, too, every day, training on the beach before school.
Where was he discovered at?
He came to one of our tournaments earlier this spring. One of our scouts, Vinny Servino, was able to see him. And he comes from the same program from the Bahamas as our festival player last year, Andre Arthur. Ryan actually came last year to the festival watching Andre play.
Wow.
Now he gets to fill the footsteps, fill the batter's box, and hopefully pick up a hit here.
That time, yeah, Lape reaches back and with an outstanding fastball blows him away.
We didn't get to talk about the breaking ball earlier in the count, but I saw Dimitri in shock. And then you get fastball in the upper part of the zone that looks good out of the hand, and then halfway through it's like, uh-oh.
Yeah, that ball looked like it accelerated on him, and when you have control of two pitches like that, it makes it tough to hit. Absolutely makes it miserable day at the plate.
Catcher Colton Wombles ahead in the count, 1-0.
Look at those forearms. Look at that. Jesus.
We've gotten to see him already go single back up the middle. We've seen him throw somebody out from behind the plate, steal a couple pitches, well-rounded prospect who's going to be one that we're going to keep following throughout the summer.
Yeah, exceptional talent. I like when he swing and bunt and hustle down the line. Got an RBI out of it, too.
Line drive in the book.
Every time.
Louisiana native Lape feels a fastball, inner half. Danny Wexelman, what do you have for us?
Talking with Wombles earlier this week, he wants everybody to know that he's got a very, very lucky pair of swim trunks that have bananas on them. He's wearing them right now, guys, and he said he's never lost in them. So he wants everyone to know. I cleared it with him, so he's wearing them right now. Let's see if it gets him a knock.
The breaking ball is just off the plate outside. Did you guys happen to lay eyes on those swim trunks?
We have. I've seen them, and
my only comment was they had better be lucky.
There's something.
Better be washed.
Well, just not my favorite swimsuit.
They've been used in the pool a couple of days. They're clean enough.
2-1 the count. In on the hands.
And him being a catcher too in those tronies.
Hopefully it's only a game day superstition, not practices.
Well, I didn't hear anything about that he didn't wash them. I just heard they were lucky.
You do laundry,
You guys
so
went down the road of not washing them.
Well, that's what people do when they're superstitious. You know that, Darren.
He's way too intelligent for that. The 2-2 fouls it back to the screen.
Are you sure about that? He's a baseball player.
Come on now. We're past that stuff, aren't we? This is a modern athlete. Athletes that are open about being homesick and their struggles. They're vulnerable. They do their laundry. The modern athlete cleans their clothes.
Do they?
I hope so. 2-2 the count. Breaking ball to the backstop it goes, and the runner will move up. We've evolved as athletes. We have to have. You can't wear swim trunks for a whole season.
I beg to differ on that.
We were talking about, by the way, you were talking about how strong he is in those forearms and his success as a wrestler as a young man.
Trying to turn that bat into sawdust.
3-2 the count. He takes inside, down low. That's ball 4. The interesting part, the shorts are fun. The wrestling is interesting. At 10 years old, he was diagnosed, Wombles, with the growth hormone deficiency, and he was told, you'll never be big enough to really do anything with regard to athletics at the next level. And he said, all that has done is motivate me.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
He's one of the more physical players here, and he's putting all his talents on display for everybody to see at home.
I heard we may be able to share the banana swim trunks at some point.
Boy.
It's a rumor.
Pinch your nose in the dugout.
Again, we're going back to the fact that they're not clean.
He's a
We had a little
catcher.
rain delay, too.
0-1 the count to Jackson Willits. He takes high.
How many pleasant-smelling catchers do you know?
That's not what I'm saying. I know he washes them after games.
I don't think so. He said he wins in them. Why are you going to wash away the win?
The win's already in the books. You're not washing it away.
Looking for the next one, though.
But that's part of the whole superstitious thing. I'm pretty sure they stand up on their own.
I think we're past that now. The 1-1. Inside corner, 1-2 the count.
All I'm saying is his team is winning right now.
I mean, there used to be a time where broadcasters could sit up in the booth and couldn't talk about a no-hitter. Those days are gone. Thank goodness. We want people to watch. Tune in. It's over. The superstition thing's over.
Okay.
All of it's over?
No, of course it's not.
Stepping on the line, coming from and getting back on the field?
1-2 the count. High and inside, 2-2. Now, just when it comes to laundry, that's all. I think that's a thing in the past. 2-2 the count on Jackson Willits. We'll ask Jackson. We'll have him ask his dad, New York Yankees first base coach. I'm sure Aaron Boone, if he's got lucky banana shorts, washes them right after the game.
Oh, they're definitely going in.
2-2 the count. High, 3-2. Brett Gardner, Judge. I'm sure they wash their clothes after the game.
Yeah, you know, I mean that's what they do now. They're millennials. That's my first time ever using that word too, millennial.
3-2 the count.
Rolled off the tongue well.
Jackson Willits. Breaking ball is high, and he's on. So the young man who was the MVP of the 14U WWBA, how good was he at that event, by the way? I can look at the numbers, an OPS of over 1,300. You saw him. How good was he?
It was my first time getting to see Jackson Willits. You know, he comes in with the commitment. He's already big, strong, physical. But then he comes out and performs. He doesn't... The commitment's there, but it hasn't hindered him from advancing as a player. Everything was line drive shots, back up the middle. Played really good defense up the middle for Team Elite, whether it was at short, whether it was at second. The footwork, fields out front, good arm across. He's got a really good tool set to keep building off of.
Talking about Jackson Willits, who just earned that walk and is doing some housekeeping out there at first. Mr. Lake tries to find the strike zone, and he does so with Walter Ford. Just rushes it up high and inside. He's been so much good for Lape, even at the 14U National Showcase, running a sub 760 at 6.87, throwing 92 from the outfield. And there's that. I mean, you can dream on a good sinking fastball like that.
Yes, you can. And if I'm the hitter right here, if I'm the coach, I'm telling the kid, let that bat eat. You swinging away. You know, you already have a 4-run lead right here. It's 2 outs. Go for the downs right here.
Got Lape on the mound, Walter Ford in the box. They're really similar in their prospect profiles right now, too, in the live body, fast twitch arms, two-way prospects.
Good sinking fastball. Nice bounce back.
Too close to tape.
By the way, we heard rumors about Lucky Shorts, and if we had a chance to find him anywhere, it'd be inside that player's lounge where all the fun was going down. Ping pong championships, tournaments, going to battle, and having all sorts of fun. Getting ready for the big game at the Perfect Game Select 14U Baseball Festival.
Hey, welcome back. I've got Braden Holcomb here. I'm going to walk him up to the plate. He's putting his batting gloves on, getting ready. Your team's in a little bit of a hole, Braden. How are you going to get up there and get the thing started?
I'm just going to focus and get on base and try and start a rally for my team and maybe get us back into this thing.
What's the best part about facing some of the best in the country as you take your time at the plate?
It just gets us better, you know, and every at-bat, every pitch locks us in, gets us better, and you're not going to get better facing stuff that's not good like this, you know.
Awesome, Braden. Thank you so much. Good luck, okay? Guys?
Braden Holcomb, thank you, Danny, out of Orlando, Florida, and thank you, Braden, out of Foundation Academy. A non-commit at this point, and he deals with a young man out of Vegas, Dimitri Diamond. Bishop Gorman High School, Georgia Tech commit. He was up to 87 at the 16U West Memorial Day Tournament in Phoenix, Arizona. Was an all-tournament performer.
We talk about at this age level all the two-way type prospects. Dimitri embodies that. Power-hitting third baseman, upper 80s on the mound. There was one tournament he had earlier this year where he went a perfect 10 for 10 over a 3-game stretch, batted 1,000, and we're going to get to see what he does on the mound right now.
Holcomb walks his way up to home plate, and we shot a spotlight on him a couple of times. Our perfect game player spotlight. Out of Ocoee, Florida, just outside of Orlando. Power Baseball, his travel team. Bats and throws right. Jason is dad. Lynn is mom. Older sis is Samantha. Older bro is Jacob at home. Shining the spotlight on that young man. It's a good-looking smile. He's a big and strong young man, by the way.
Were you serious about the smile right there? Based on how he was talking with Danny, he had one thing on his mind, and that was go up there and, like he said, he wanted to start that rally.
Only the smile on the graphic, not the smile.
That wasn't a smile. That was like, come on, smile. But this kid right here reminds me of a young Scott Rowland right here. The body comparison, just the overall strength, the agility that he has. And, I mean, he's a freshman and already played 2 years of varsity baseball already.
The power with Holcomb here is for real.
That's a good comparison, by the way, as he goes down on strikes, chased up and out of the zone. That frame, that Scott Rowland kind of frame, broad shoulder, tall. As Tayshawn Walton takes his chance with a bat in his hands.
The newly minted Miami commit striding up to the plate.
Not great.
Oh, look how bigger that chain got since he committed.
Tayshawn, a heck of a basketball player as well. The son of Kimberly and Antoine. Both his parents played college basketball. As he fouls that one back to the screen. Dad played at Virginia Union. Mom played Elizabeth City State.
Wombles getting low back there.
Oh, a la Tony Pena, Benito Santiago. When Walton was hitting the other day during the long distance derby, Ben Ford was comparing him to my brother Delman Young, who'd been through the perfect game stuff, except as a junior. And this kid here, he's a freshman that just recently committed to the University of Miami. That would have been the school that I would have gone to. I had a full ride to go there in 1991. And that would have been Ron Frazier's last year of coaching.
Walton earns the walk. He's had a nice career in perfect game events. 82 PG games, a .482 on base percentage. He's taken the baseball a couple of times as a pitcher. 13 and a third innings, 23 strikeouts. So there's a lot of athleticism there. Going to Miami. Carson Bowen.
Just hope he doesn't get recruited by the football team, because that young man is physical.
I bet he will. I bet they'll give him a chance.
Diamond on the mound here, up to 87. Threw a bullpen the other day with the Diamond Kinetics pitch tracker, which tracks the RPMs of the curveball. Major league average about 2,500. In his bullpen, which obviously isn't going at 100%, he was at 24 to 2,500 RPMs, already showing major league average spin on the breaking ball. And we get to see it already on a couple here that he snapped off.
Diamond Kinetics baseball is a great training tool for you pitchers because the results are there instantaneously, right onto a smartphone. You can obviously go back and have it just there, documented. If you're throwing on the side just with a partner, if you have a coach or a friend or a family member, you can have them kind of talk you through what they're seeing as you work on the mound. That's a good mention, Jeremy. On the breaking ball, and it's fouled up the left side and into the seats. Carson Bowen.
Well, when I was in the stands the other day, taking notes on everybody, Bowen's mom was talking about how much of an avid fisherman he was and likes to go freshwater fishing. She had a picture of a koi fish that he caught. And I'm a fisherman myself. I really like to go out and fish. And, you know, to me, that's a relaxing thing. Takes your mind off of things. Some people like to golf. Some people like to go hunting. Me, myself, I like to catch freezer fish.
Good stuff that you can put in the freezer and save as Bowen fouls that one off. Have you planned a time where you can take Carson fishing? I mean, you're in Camarillo. You're maybe a couple of hours away. You know what? Roll out the invite.
Yeah, you know, I think we play them. I'm coaching over at Oaks Christian with Royce Clayton and Jeff Weaver, and we play all those top-tier schools out there, Notre Dame, so probably see Dean West in the future. And, yeah, we'll probably see him as well, but I'd like to talk to his parents again about going down there and talking to the coach and have both teams go out on one of those fishing boats, charter it out, and, you know,
sounds
between
like good
two
fun.
teams. Yeah, you know.
For some. Breaking ball is rolled foul.
That's a good point. People do get seasick out there.
For some. Yeah, they have a little thing behind the ear, little patch you can put behind the ear. I'd say you could take a Dramamine, but then you just sleep through the whole fishing trip.
Exactly.
Bowen, a fisherman. Dimitri Young uncovering that. Mom Chris shared that with him. Runner moves up, attempts to, and with a head-first slide, does so. Tayshawn on the move on a ball skipped into the dirt.
There's that speed again from Tayshawn. Takes out half the infield dirt with him on the slide.
And you know what? That's the stuff that we teach over at the Hank Aaron Invitational. We have the kids there for a week, and so base running is a key component because that's one thing that's not really taught. You know, you go to hitting lessons, you got pitching lessons, you got fielding lessons, but there's nobody telling you how to get a good lead. He didn't have exactly the best lead in the world right there, but he was heads up, saw the ball in the dirt, and advanced to second. Once again, that's team baseball right there, part of the development part of it, which, you know, during the season and things of that nature, that's what you try and teach.
Runner takes off. Bowen has a pitch in on his hands. He fights it into shallow left field, and it's down for a base hit. Watson was heading back to second after he hit, then back to third. A little slip in between. But this is a hit for Bowen. Watch this.
Off on the pitch. Here's a crack of that. Probably wants to freeze immediately. Goes back, sees it's down, tries to go back, slips, and ultimately gets what he was going for.
You know, if that was me currently running the bases.
Smile, by the way.
Yes, that is.
Go for it.
That kind of base running right there, you're just glad that he didn't tweak anything. But when you're 14 years old, you're pretty limber and loose, and you're able to get away with that.
I think it shows his athleticism. Turn it on, turn it back, stop, twitch, go. get what he wanted.
I thought the same thing about how athletic you have to be to stay comfortable with all that going on around you.
Yeah,
Might have
that
been
was a
down
lot.
and stayed down.
That would have been a whole bunch of torn knee ligaments.
That was a really good at-bat by Bowen as he fought off more than a couple pitches and ultimately got the single to dump into shallow left field.
Good fastball from Diamond over the outside corner. Nonda is his dad. Michelle is Dimitri's mom. Just a protect swing, a really late protect swing by Riley Jackson.
You know, on Friday, when Dimitri came over and introduced himself, my question to him was, how many times do people misspell your name? Because my name gets misspelled all the time, and he said his does frequently as well. I said, get used to it.
Rolls that one toward the right side. A little backhanded flip for one. On to first, and a double play.
Beautiful.
Beltre started it with a backhanded flip, and then it was fired on by Jackson Willits. Beltre to Willits.
Smooth turn.
Beautiful, huh?
Look at the emotion from Austin Ford again. He loves it.
He plays with fire.
Major Leaguer Tanyan Sturts in the other dugout. Former Major Leaguer Flash Gordon. The arms so far from Thomas White to Jake Lanky to Walter Ford, Matthew Austin Ford. This is what we've seen, Jeremy, first of all in Team Sturts. Again, this is a 14U event.
That was what I was going to say. They're 14U. You're seeing 3 arms, 87, an arm at 88, another one at 89. And nobody here is close to physical maturation, which means this is all going to continue to climb as we see these players unfold through their high school careers.
Lonergan was really fun to watch work. Heck, they've all been fun to watch work. We'll share the numbers in the next half for the other staff. Hello, Jacob Schultz. We've already seen you hit out of Memorial High School in Houston, Texas. A non-commit that dreams about schools like Texas and Vandy, Arkansas, TCU, Texas Tech, Mississippi State, Duke, Stanford, and Rice, and he makes it clear in no particular order. 12 baseball, his travel team. He's a 23 grad. He's a freshman.
Yeah, and he doesn't look like a freshman. We've seen him throw in a couple tournaments this year, and the beauty of the 14U starting as we do so young, you get to watch him develop not even year to year, but almost month to month. We saw one of our scouts saw him in January, February, up to 83. I came back middle of the spring. He was up to 86. Now he's touching 87s, 88s, and you look at him physically, how short the arm action is going to be, how strong he is, how low effort it is. It's going to look like he's playing catch, and he's not done. He's just scratching his surface.
Matthew Austin Ford, who has shown all kinds of emotion, whether it's running off the mound after getting some big outs or making a play at first on the back end of a pretty double play. He's fun to watch, young man out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. As that fastball dips over the outside corner. The Gold Glove's in the house. Easy to make a play, or is it with that Gold Glove?
Of course it's Sanders with the glove, too. Finding the spotlight.
Oh, plenty of personality.
He'll probably have one of those in his house in California in 10 years. Scholl's 85-86 right here with his fastball. It's cutting out of the hand. We've seen he has both a slider and a curveball. Goes back to the heater, but you see him here. The delivery is really simple. It's not quite like Hero Wyatt exclusive out of the stretch, but it's a subtle turn with his feet where it's still very simplistic.
Connor Bennett is his catcher, working behind the plate with him, gets a call on the outside corner. Schultz has a unique family with regard to athleticism. His mom, Ellen, played volleyball at Baylor. Dad, Jeff, played football at Yale, and that's just the beginning. As that hits the inside corner, that's strike 3. No need for a glove, but there have been some nice plays throughout tonight that we have enjoyed seeing. Drew Burris in center field. This young man with a great first step, leaving his feet. A Rawlings Gold Glove, outstanding defensive plays of the game, and then that beautiful double play. Turned over out there. Great turn by Jackson Willits. Danny, take it.
Hey, I've got Bryce Eldridge. Bryce, you told me that Justin Bieber's on your playlist, so as we walk up here, you're about to take your at-bat. What is your walk-up song for Justin Bieber?
I'd have to say Baby. That's a classic for me, and, it just gets me ready.
All right, well, I'm going to let you get ready. Guys, back to you. Thank you, Bryce.
Not good stuff, Danny. We appreciate him waiting a moment for a Justin Bieber walk-up song. Baby. That's old school. I guess, what are we going back, like a half decade? That's as old school as it is.
That's not old school. Not yet, anyway.
For Justin Bieber, I guess, is right in on the hands. Boy, yuck. Nobody likes that pitch. Bryce Eldridge tied up there. Good fastball in on the hands.
85 left on left. Surprisingly didn't break his bat on that swing, but that's your three-hopper back.
Well, the last two hitters been really crowding that plate, and so a pitch like this, yeah, he got all up in there. Yeah, right now I'm laughing. Even if he was, a kid that I was coaching, they know that I'm going to laugh at him.
Here's Drew Burris. Made that fine play earlier. Fastball's over the inside corner for a strike.
It's coming out really easy from Schultz's left hand.
Yes, it is.
Chases up and out of the zone. 1-2 the count to Burris.
These hitters are really not getting a break. Everybody coming in here is pumping some serious cheddar, or they have such massive movement on the ball that they're not getting a guy that's just going to throw cookies up there to him.
Down off the end of the back, going into a little bit of a slide to make the play there. Derek Mitchell, the Arizona native, hauls that one in. 5-1 is the score. Stand up and stretch him out. What a great day to start the day. In the morning, Perfect Game continues to give back. The Perfect Game Cares Foundation with a youth camp well attended in this community. Former major leaguers top to bottom sharing their wisdom. Perfect Game coaches and scouts out here volunteering their time. Dimitri, you were one of the instructors. You were up with the sun. As the sun rose, you were out here. Tell us about it.
It was a camp. It was supposed to be bigger, but what happened with the Hurricane Dorian thing going on, a lot of people didn't come, but the ones that came, they were able to have some fun with us out there. And I was at the hitting station, and the kids were trying to hit the ball over the monster or hit it into the net. And that's part of what Perfect Game does, what Perfect Game Cares, is giving back to the community, and more importantly, teaching these young boys to become men by going out in the community, going to the children's hospital, and understanding that life is bigger than baseball. And that's what the Fords have been doing for years and giving back, and that's what this is all about.
Jeremy, we got a chance, and thank you, Dimitri, from your insights. We really appreciate it. To roll some more numbers out, and you can certainly share your insights now on Team Gordon. Thomas White, he started this game off from the left side. Walter Ford, Nolan Schubart. Your numbers, tell us what they mean to you.
It means baseball is evolving. This is a 14U event. We got a lefty up to 91, and you can't do much but shake your head at all of these numbers. Having to constantly remind yourself that they're not done growing. The velocity is going to keep ticking up. Every year it says the same thing. You have to just keep reminding yourself that there's still only 14. Most of them haven't even played a high school inning yet.
Well, it's absolutely amazing seeing those numbers, especially for White. And you said how much did he grow over the course of a year?
He was sub 6 foot last summer. Now he's 6'3". Grew almost 4 shoe sizes. Jumped from 79 to 91.
Cam Collier, of course, we've talked about his dad and the impact. Played in the big leagues from 97 to 04. Lou Collier, here's Cam talking about dad.
My dad's name is Louis Collier. Played 8 years in the major leagues. He means so much to me because he came from a lower down part of Chicago, worked his way up, put in so much hard work to get to the highest part. And he just talks to me, he helps me. He's the reason I'm here. He just helps me put in all my work, and I love him.
He's on the mound working now. He's a Louisville commit. He's a really talented all-around athlete, right-handed thrower, left-handed hitter. Egan Owen is the man who he is dealing with. I should say Owen Egan. Old number 99. I flipped your names on you, young man. Out of Yucaipa High School. Ralph Grajeda, his head coach, a 23 grad.
You're going to get this name down because you're going to be saying it a lot, I think. All the tools here for Owen they're exceptional. And he's another one that we've been able to track from showcase to this game. And we're going to see him for the next couple years, and there's so much more left in the tank for Owen.
We mentioned his high school coach. He says he's my favorite teacher. He's taught me a lot about baseball in a short period of time. I've learned so much on how to improve my game. He's got some interesting athleticism in his family, too. That one's fouled back to the screen. His dad played soccer, played it well. Played it collegiately in New Mexico, played professionally for quite some time. Mom was a high-level swimmer when she was runner. Dad now keeping a lot of folks safe and sound in the Yucaipa area as a firefighter. Father Josh, his mom is Katie.
Quick pitch. Pitch right before that, too. Cam gave a little hesitation at the top, then he goes right back to the quick pitch.
Love that.
And this is a secondary arm that's showing the athleticism and balance to do it and still work in the low mid-80s.
Right in on the hands, line drive, base hit, center field.
That's a great piece of hitting right there.
Simple, direct, repeats with the result as well.
There he is with 2 strikes. Didn't do too much, stayed up the middle, and that's what you want to do at 2 strikes. You want to give up a side of the plate, and right there, he just stayed right through it, able to get a key hit right there.
Runner moves up on a pitch into the dirt in a 5-1 game. Team Gordon in the Navy uniforms, Tom Flash Gordon, Tanyan Sturts, former Major Leaguer, Team Sturts.
And right here, ball's in the... Oh, this is a hit right here.
Front foot's down, barrel's out.
Oh, staying right through that ball. Shoulders level. That's a picture-perfect swing right there.
Yucaipa, where he's going to be going to Yucaipa High School this spring, they have one of the original PG Select Fest members with Jordan Andrade as a senior this year, so almost passing the torch on to Owen.
Andrade, who, by the way, in junior high committed to Washington, right?
Yeah, he did. One of the youngest commits I've ever seen, witnessed.
I know I've spent a few years around the prospect game that I know that, and I remember that. I don't know if I'd have known that 5 years ago. Pitch in on the hands, and he whips that bat through the zone. 3-0 green light.
Yeah, I like that hack right there.
Like we've been saying, you have to. You don't want to walk. You want to get on base. You want to get your team going again. But at the same time, you're on national television as a 14-year-old. Let's make some noise.
Yeah, there's people watching. I'm sure they told all their people, and everybody's watching. They want to put on a show for them.
Mitchell earns the walk. He has been inspired by many in his life. He shares with us one of the bigger inspirations.
My grandpa and uncle have been the best influence on me. I mean, they both played Major League Baseball, so, I mean, they've been helping me get to the spot I am right now, and, I mean, I'm here right now, which is great experience and meeting all these people, and, I mean, just, I thank them for all of this, and especially my parents. I mean, couldn't do it without them.
Danye is a dad, Dion is mom, Leon Brown is grandfather, made his debut with the Mets in 1976. As the runner moves up to third on a ball in the dirt. We appreciate Derek sharing that with us, and we talked about other relatives. You talked about it, Mo Vaughn, Greg Vaughn, Curtis Brown, but he talked about Leon Brown and how much it meant because Leon played in the 70s and introduced him to guys like Dusty Baker and Tommy Lasorda. That young man who takes off, a balk is called, and that'll play to run. So that young man's been inspired by some players from years before.
And that's what they call passing the torch right there. You know, past generations, and his grandfather made his debut with the Mets back in 1976, so he got a taste of big league life, and then having relatives, 1995 MVP Mo Vaughn, and then Greg Vaughn, home run hit a teammate of mine in Cincinnati in 1999 totally changed my whole thought process on how to play the game. And, you know, when you're listening to guys like that that been there, done that, you're going to kind of have that advantage when you go out there and play.
You can see in the windup, Collier, a part-time pitcher, forgetting, wanting to go out to the stretch, but actually took a step back foot to step off, so he had started his windup, and that's the balk a moment ago. This is Blake Grimmer, Michigander, Motor City Hit Dogs, his travel team, as he rolls that one foul. He talked about Greg Vaughn on his own. He had known about the prospects that were gathered at the All-American Classic a couple of weeks ago. He and Tim Lincecum just attended. They came and attended. They were passing on some wisdom. They came to the banquet. They didn't coach. They weren't on the broadcast team. They just wanted to be around young athletes. It was cool to see those two guys there.
And, you know, that's what we're seeing more and more, former big league ball players, especially impact ball players, getting into the amateur game, because what's happening is when you get that knowledge from big league ball players, especially when you're trying to become a big league ball player, just any little nugget that you can take to further your game. And that's what we're doing, giving back to these younger players.
We'll do it again on a 1-2 count. Grimmer struck out in his previous at-bat. He's been an active PG man, very active.
Yeah, he's somebody we heard about even last year, and our scouts were able to see him early this spring. Everybody just kept coming back with rave reviews, and he's done very, very well for himself throughout the summer.
And 3 times he's been a perfect game tournament most valuable player, including all tournament performance at the 14U World Series. He homered at the 14U perfect game WWBA. Nico Perez walks in there. Beautiful throw down. A pump of the fist. A gorgeous throw. Nicholas Sanders comes up throwing from behind home plate, and down goes Mitchell.
He let Mitchell know he got him, too.
Yeah, right there.
Got rid of it, too, over the right-handed hitter.
Yes, he didn't get a bad jump, but, I mean, what you saw right there from the catch and throw right there, that's impact right there.
A good slap tag from Curlin.
High fly ball back of short. Easy chance put to bed. Ryan Reckley out of the Bahamas. 3-run lead. Fine defense all night long. 14U perfect game. Select Baseball Festival. There's no doubt one of the best parts about being invited to an event like this put on by Perfect Game as the finest player in the nation is the good-looking gear. The great folks from New Balance providing gear. Rawlings a big partner. And of course, we've talked about Diamond Kinetics in their role, but Rawlings a strong presence. BSN helping to put things together. There's DK, Diamond Kinetics, our game summary. 5-2, this is the score. Tom Gordon's team. Tanya and Sturtz's squad going toe-to-toe. Out of New Mexico, that's Stephen Millan, a couple of walks, a couple of stolen bases. Schubart, single walk, stolen base. Catcher Wombles out of Alabama. Egan Owen. And now we give way to Aiden Miller. Miller, the right-hander. We've seen him do a couple of things, and that's who he is because he's the two-way player of the year. The 14U World Series, all tournament selection up to 87 miles an hour. 5 1/3 innings, struck out 6. It's one of his last tournament appearances anyway.
If you're a college coach or even a fan just tuning into the game right now, all you see is Aiden on the mound, you're going to be, oh, he's probably one of the best pitchers in the country. Then as you watch his game, you realize he's a primary outfielder, can play third base, really swings the bat, and that's why he was named the two-way player of the year. Speaking of two ways, here's Dimitri Diamond, and it's just they're galore at this age still because you don't want to say you're just going to pitch for the rest. They're too athletic to give them one position.
Dimitri hits it hard out to short. Long throw across the diamond. A good effort trying to come off the bag and make the play. Unable to make the play.
That was good hustle by Dimitri running down the line. You know, he didn't hit the ball the way that he wanted to, but when you hustle down the line, you put pressure on the defense.
It was a nice play by Grimmer at shortstop, too, to get to his backhand. Smooth actions, pulled the first baseman off the bag, but see him here go to it, stay smooth, get the short hop, throw it across. Enough arm, just a bit wide.
Diamond is on. Now Cameron Collier, the Louisville commit, who just went to work on the mound here a moment ago. Throws that bat head right through the zone. What a beautiful approach. An easy swing. Danny Wexelman standing by. What do you have?
Hey guys, I've got Manuel Beltre from the Dominican Republic. Why is it so important to you to represent your home country and be here on the biggest stage?
It's so important because, you know, not many kids from the Dominican Republic or Santo Domingo, where I'm from, got the chance to play in this bigger event. And it's not just my country, it's my family. Everything is following me.
Manuel, thank you. Guys.
And now he gets his opportunity. Manuel Beltre.
We got to see Beltre last year.
He handled that well, didn't he, by the way, that information?
Smooth, fluid,
so smooth.
Just like him out in the infield. We got to see him last year, and comes to check, and he's a completely different player physically. He's grown into his body, as you'd expect, given being one of the younger players last year, coming back this year. Has the confidence, already playing on TV in this event. Him and Tamar, two of the more vocal players, and they have the talent to back it up as well.
Yeah, they're out here like grizzled veterans out here, you know. They run the roost around here, and he's showing a lot of the guys, especially the Spanish speakers, you know, how to conduct yourself and what this really means to you. I saw how he took Castillo under his wing. Mm-hmm. And that's part of being a good teammate right there. And that's the stuff that you like to see out of these players, more so than the talent is how do you respond to your teammates when they're doing well or when they're struggling or just need a good listening ear.
Boy, got the bat head through the zone quickly on that fastball, albeit right down the middle. This FIU commit, the smile, you could see the words, the focus, the energy. Watch this.
Really quick hands there.
Real quick, and that ball was barreling in kind of fast, too.
Beltre and Tamar Johnson are going to be the last two players to be the two-time 14U PG Select players. Now with the implementation of the 13U, these two would have played in that rendition of the game had we had it last year.
Well, and they would have excelled as well, too.
You know you're a good player. When you play up ever. I mean ever, right? How about when you play in an All-American caliber game and you're playing up? You're invited to play up, and there's all kinds of other players out there that could steal your spot, and you're playing up. That's incredible.
That's very incredible. That just goes to show what kind of talent you have, and also having that kind of talent, being able to, you know, have that maturity to play against older players, because when a lot of players play up and they don't have success, you know, they have the tendency to pout, but these guys have had success, and they're able to motivate the older players on the team.
We'll do it again. 3-2 the count. 5-2 the score. Tom Flash Gordon's team on top.
87 miles per hour on that last fastball from Aiden Miller. Showing a good breaking ball, mixing it around, 84, 85 mostly with the heater. Cut that one a bit down, and Beltre, wash, rinse, repeat. We're going back at it.
You know, you tend to forget that these are 14-year-olds, the way that you watch this battle right here. And
just his mannerisms in the box.
Just all the way around, both sides, the pitcher. Just a beautiful sight to see.
3-2 breaking ball. He spoiled another good one. Good on the pitch.
Yep.
Good on the approach. That's exactly what you guys are saying.
Miller's got the confidence to go 3-2. First two runners reach. You don't have an out. He goes inside breaking ball. Manuel Beltre recognizes it enough to spoil it again. And as we just said, we'll do it all over again.
fly ball well struck toward the gap in left center field, and it's down. Runners will move up 90 feet strong, and that's an outstanding at bat. Tip of the cap to the pitcher there for his battle, but Manuel Beltre, wow.
That ball right there could have been lost in the lights a little bit, the way that the ball was hit. That ball looked like it got in on him a little bit, but that's what you call one heck of a battle right there. Nice picture-perfect swinging right there, just a little too deep right there. But when you're hitting, you want that ball to fall in.
Schubert digging back in. Nolan Schubert out of Michigan. We've seen him already up to 90. We've talked about his mechanically, how much power he's actually going to have. He comes to the plate with the bases loaded, no outs.
And he deals with that breaking ball right under the hands, does Nolan Schubert.
And if he's able to move off the plate probably 3 or 4 inches, he'll have a different look at how that pitch comes in on him.
Pitch. Good 0-2 pitch there.
But that's all part of the development side of, learning your body and just getting at bats. And you get tired of getting jammed, you're going to move off the plate. But until that happens, stay right there.
Doesn't chase. Didn't go.
Oh, trying to get him to chase. Pitcher, the catcher's calling for the pitch up in the zone to try and get him to bite. To set up the breaker.
Right in on his hands, hugs the line, hugs it, trickles foul. That's Connor Bennett behind the plate catching, by the way. And chomping at the bit for his chance. Has been swinging the bat earlier in this game, and now he gets his couple of innings of work.
Yeah, base hit right here will really give a little bit separation between Team Gordon and Team Sturtsy right here.
It's a pretty good take. He has taken some good pitches. On an 0-2 pitch, had a good breaking ball down and in that he took. And then this one. Another good curveball.
Had some serious bite on that.
Bennett did a good job there.
Hits it hard. Hits the bag. Fair ball, extra bases. 1 run will score. Another run come on down. It's a stand-up double for the young man out of Durand, Michigan. Orchard Lake, St. Mary's Prep. Nolan Schubert
with the shimmy.
Yeah, he turned on that pitch right there. And like I said, until he's forced to move off the plate, stay right there. Stay with your success.
Pulled the barrel in. And
did that ball hit off the first base bag?
It did.
Yep. Like you said, that opens it up right now, 7-2, heading deep into the game.
Look at that.
That's what you want it to look like.
Yes, right there. Pretty bad.
Yeah, Schubert was tied up, as Dimitri was saying, pretty badly in his last at bat with the pitch inside. He swings right through that one, curling. Cade Berkeley Prep, Tampa, Florida. He is a Florida commit. His team Sturts will get together and talk about things. Brett is Cade's dad, Blair is mom. And he shared a lot of the athletic stories in his family. Rex Culpepper, quarterback at Syracuse, is battling right now victory over cancer. This is a 4.0 student as well, Curlin. Hung on that breaking ball as long as he could, and then he popped it foul.
He had a good weekend already before coming to the game. You see the special G-form elbow guard here. Won it through the ping pong tournament that we had in the Players Lounge. Then the banquet the next night. Top fundraiser for Golisano's Children's Hospital, almost $10,000.
Nice.
Now he gets to come up and do something at the plate.
Reporting live from the ping pong tournament, Jeremy Brown.
That's right.
That's good stuff, man.
I lost in the third round.
So you was playing for
played
it
in
too?
the tournament?
Oh, yeah. Have to.
Wait,
you conflict of interest.
Wait a minute, you were playing for the equipment.
Yeah, I'd wear it up here.
You would wear it up here where we're at right now.
You never know. Never know.
Our windows are closed, so there's really nothing that can come.
Never know. And then I said, if I did win, I'd give it to whoever was the MVP.
3-2, fastball outside corner. Aiden Miller with a beautiful pitch.
Got some late hop to it. There wasn't really much Curlin could do with that pitch. Set up out, hit out. Big pitch there for Aiden Miller.
How about Connor Bennett, too?
Good frame.
Yeah,
He's loose and athletic back there, too.
You know, and it's an expanded zone right now. So knowing that already, and those are the things, the more that you play, the more that, you know, there's communication. Hey, the umpire is opening up the zone a little bit, so we need to protect a little bit more with 2 strikes. And those are some of the things that you learn as a ball player. Those are some of the inside talks that we have. When you see guys sometimes whispering to each other, going back to the dugout, those are some of the messages that are being passed on.
And how about that play? Watch this. Firing it down, Connor Bennett.
Look at the tag.
Tamar pops the tag down. Boy, how about that?
Might want to call New York on that one, but we'll take it.
Two 2-0 the count.
Another 2-0 hack.
Yeah, that's a strong hack that young man is taking up there.
We talked about Mitchell with how broad his shoulders are. Dillon Cup is nowhere near being physically mature either. Yet the skill already stands out, and he's a player you jump back in a year, and it's going to be big-time talent.
Danny Wexelman with more on Dillon Cup. Danny?
Guys, I want to tell you how tough Dillon Cup is. He fought an 0-for-40 stretch earlier this year. He said his feet felt heavy, his bat felt heavy, he lost it. His dad took all his gear away. He said, you're not using it anyway. So he had to borrow from his teammates, finally broke that streak, and he's here trying to get a hit too.
Racing up the line, good story of commitment to the game.
So pretty.
And a beautiful play out there at third. There's a couple of great plays at third that were made defensively by Tamar Johnson. Also working with Mr. Connor Bennett behind the plate. 7-2. 7-2 is the score. We were talking about earlier the outstanding play of all these players. There's Jackson Mackenzie. That's his sister, Shelby Mackenzie, one of the finest softball players in the nation. We put her to work tonight. She's our timeout coordinator down there. She played for the, see? She's being produced. But she homered on national TV for the Birmingham Thunderbolts team. The Premier Girls Fast Pitch National Championship. She was in the circle, and she homered. The first homer of the entire championships at the 12U age group. And, of course, her brother's a pretty good hitter. And we're honored to have her on our production team tonight. I was able to call that game. I promise you, she can flat play. I mean, she can flat play. And because commitments can't happen as young as a softball player, they have to wait to communicate until heading into their junior year. Bro's already committed, 1 year older to Mississippi State. Our coach is lining up watching that talented Shelby Mackenzie in the circle.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
And we were talking about that earlier coming to the ballpark and the difference between recruitment in softball and in baseball. And it is apples and oranges, day and night on the recruiting process.
Absolutely.
It starts younger, for sure, and baseball starts absolutely younger. And able to have a verbal commitment younger in softball now. They changed the rules, and there is no communication at all until September of your junior year. So maybe some late bloomers who might have given up, don't give up. And so it's interesting, the two sports. Obviously, the pro level is a little bit different for baseball. There's a little bit more. You hope, something like the NPF grows and explodes through the years, but that's part of the destination as well. All right, we've got a man working in the circle. Stephen Millan will go to work. So I knew he was a great infielder. He's a Gold Glove caliber infielder. What do we know about him on the mound?
He's going to come out. He's going to show you 3-4 different looks. He's going to change it up consistently. Might even drop slot on you. Going to be low 80s. Feel for the curveball. He's going to fill the strike zone. He's going to pitch. He's going to compete. He's going to induce contact early in the count.
young man out of New Mexico. And he deals with Austin Rolig to start things. First pitch, sinking fastball. 1-0 the count. Rolig out of Rancho, Cucamonga, California, the CBA Bulldogs, as that one skips in there and heads to the backstop. The CBA Bulldogs organization, CBA Joe Spires runs that organization.
I've been enjoying watching this young man hit, and right there you see minimum movement. His hands are already in a erect load position, just a little leg kick. He already has great balance. Plate position is right where you want it. And when you have that kind of model of an approach right there, it makes it real easy to hit.
Good torque through the core with his swing, and he's another one that, as he gets stronger, those doubles are going to start going over the fence. We got to see him this summer at the World Series with CBA.
And him not being one of the larger kids here, that doesn't mean he's not going to grow. He's 14, and the smaller stature kids we're seeing right now, by the time they're juniors and seniors, I mean, just like we talked about White at the beginning, how they'll grow 4, 5, 6 inches and totally transform their bodies.
No doubt.
His big bro, Jackson Mackenzie. Parents made the move down just inside of that Florida-Alabama border. Will attend Pace High School. That family move. Parents still commute back across state lines and hold on to their careers in Alabama, and so they're a little bit closer to some things that matter to them, but still commuting for work. As we said, Ed Brooks, firefighter and an EMT.
Well, like we talked about, being a parent, parents make sacrifices for their kids to put them in positions to succeed, and every parent wants their kid to be better than them in whatever it is that they do. And for them to have a son that already committed and having a absolute stud for a daughter, you know, you're willing to do things like that because you know that you're putting them in the best possible position of success.
And they appreciate it, Dimitri. They're good kids. I mean, so many of these baseball players are good kids, but those two in particular, you rode to work with one of them, and you've been around the other as he has hit. They don't take for granted what their parents are doing. They're completely humbled by it.
And one thing that concerns me about his swing is when he swings, that head has a tendency to tilt to the left side, and it creates a different swing path. So it'll be imperative for him to keep that head level as you see it dips to the side like that.
Here we go. Next baseball.
And here we go right here. Everything's good right there, but the hands drop below the shoulders. And so as he gets ready to swing, you see that head has a tilt on it, which makes it a little difficult to hit, but that's an easy fix right there.
Millan with a good fastball.
Up to 83 so far, doing what we thought he would do. Fill the strike zone, compete, get hitters to put the ball in play.
And that's basically what you want to do on the mound. You either pitch to contact or pitch to strike them out.
Runner on the move, throw down, and a stolen base. Rolig had a really good jump. Now Connor Bennett with an RBI chance.
So often you see, oh, here we go again on the steal.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
First movement, he's gone.
That's what I call a nice lead that he took. He got a good little shuffle and then took full advantage right there.
Just got to see Bennett do all his stuff defensively last half. The blocks on the balls in the dirt, the throw out at third, and now let's see if he can complete the cycle here. The baseball cycle, doing something offensively.
Isn't that a scout's dream to watch a player show off all the tools?
Yeah, especially in a one game setting in an environment like this.
1-2 the count on Connor Bennett. Runner takes off, swung right through it.
Ooh, swim move.
Just in time.
We're going to have to see this again.
Big
Yeah,
strikeout.
might have to
by
call
the way.
New York again.
No, you got the swim move.
You don't think Glove hit him? Oh, we need a different. Oh, he missed.
You want to talk about athleticism with Rolig?
Is that
There
like
it is.
Is that like the baseball equivalent of catching a football with one hand?
Essentially.
Doing the little swim move to get back to the bag?
With the hand-eye coordination to know that the tag's coming mid-slide, go up and over, and then hold on to the base. Lost his batting gloves, but got the stolen bag.
Wow.
That's impressive.
That is impressive.
2-0 the count on Ariel Antigua. We have been honored to be around his youngest brother, Johan, throughout this weekend as he rolls that one to the first base side. Johan winning his battle with cancer. And he has inspired all of us. Ariel, a talented young man out of West Palm Beach, Florida. We have played 8. Team Gordon in those beautiful navy blue jerseys. Oh, just got over it. Summertime swimming. At the end of July, Cedar Rapids, Iowa, Perfect Game cares an elite celebrity softball game for those to give back. Slugger Greg Vaughn, Bo Jackson was in attendance, NFL greats, MLB greats, all getting together. Our color analyst hopped on a plane from Southern California to the middle of America. There was a massive Give Back Kids camp, and then you guys went to work. Was that a great event?
It was an awesome event. We had 522 kids on the field for a clinic that, unfortunately, rain eventually came in and wiped it out. But being able to have that many kids on the field and it being for charity, I mean, that makes it all that much better. But for the softball game, you know, I didn't hit a ball over the fence, and then I decided to take advice from Bo Jackson. And Bo knows a lot. Bo does everything, but Bo don't hit softball. And he taught me how to not hit softball.
Hey, by the way, it's transition time for me. Speaking of Bo, he was a pretty good college football player. And college football is back. That means our team of experts returns to the studio, tackles all the hottest topics on the gridiron. Don't miss Inside College Football, presented by Sleep Number. Tuesday night, 9 Eastern, only on CBS Sports Network. Only college football, just not softball, huh?
No, not at all.
The Perfect Game Cares Foundation, they're looking to put together maybe 3 of those events and take that barnstorming with the legendary celebrities around the country. And stay tuned. It ought to be a lot of fun. Javier Muley, the New Jersey Axemen, and this is an all-around talented athlete. Please tell us more, because we've already seen him hit, run, play defense.
Yeah, Nas is a player that can do a little bit of everything. Physically gifted already. He's got those long arms. He's going to create a lot of whip with his arm stroke through the back. Low 90s. We've seen him as high as 94 already in his early career. Still just entering his sophomore year. Won the 5-Tool Player of the Year award last night, and the sky's the limit for this talent here.
He's an active travel baller. He's been at a lot of events.
Mm-hmm. It seems to up the ante every time he steps onto the diamond.
Alexis, his mom, John, his dad, and Nicholas Sanders takes high and inside. Javier
comes out 89 first pitch.
Right out of the gates.
It's not a comfortable at-bat.
You know what? Sanders doesn't look scared up there.
No.
Not one bit.
There's not much that's going to scare Nick Sanders, including the future.
Well,
He knows what's happening.
You know what? 5 kids in 10 years from now?
Out to third, down to a knee. Long throw across the diamond, and the throw is high.
Wow, Nicholas came out of the box hustling. And I said it earlier, when you out of that box, sometimes you put that pressure on the defense, and it makes you rush. Right there, right out of the box. And then see the throw is airmailed, and he's going straight to second base. Got to appreciate the aggression, which you see out of these runners here. out of these hitters. You're seeing them run and doing more than just hitting.
On a fastball that came across at 91 miles per hour.
Yeah, he really turned on it. That was a good take right there, you know. Right now, Millan really hadn't hit the zone yet, so as a hitter right there, take until he throws a strike.
Brady's going to come out swinging if he gets something within the zone for himself here. Sanders with an aggressive lead out at second base.
Yeah, he's really messing
dancing
with Millan right now. Trying to get him to take his mind off the hitter. Yeah, accidentally groove a fastball right there. And like you said, Neal looks like a very aggressive hitter right there.
We haven't seen the slider yet from Millan, but it's going to come, and it's going to be something pretty good here, especially to a lefty, able to get it to the back foot throughout the summer whenever we got to see him.
Well, right now, he hadn't found that consistency with the fastball yet to be able to throw that nasty slider that you're talking about. And right here with a 3-1 count right here, I'm pretty sure Neal's going to be swinging out of his shoes right here. I know I would, even with the base open.
Good fastball on 3-1. That's exactly what he did.
Yeah, you know he's going to come with the fastball. Just be ready for it. Now he's going to get another opportunity right now with the base open. A lot of times you'll see that slider coming, but we don't know right here in the showcase. He might just want to gas him up.
Might break it out, though. Nope, heater.
Now one trickles into center field.
Like Sanders stole third.
He was off. Did he get...
he's at third base.
No, yeah, did he get caught on a back pick? Didn't think he was going to go?
I think he just
Maybe
shuffling.
Delayed steal?
Possibly, because he was messing around the entire time and just got off way too far to the point where he just said, I'm taking the bag.
Already halfway the moment the ball leaves the catcher's hand.
Yeah, here we go right here. No, he tried to back pick him.
Nearly had him, too.
Yeah, a little bit of a gamble, but, you know.
Up 5, make something happen on the bases.
Yeah, exactly.
So Neal walks. Wombles is on with his opportunity now.
Because basically on that play, it would have taken 2 perfect throws.
Yeah, and Sanders just making things happen. Big old leg lift there from Wombles.
I think Wombles is ready for that fastball, and he took the slider right there that you was talking about right there.
Like we saw with Lonergan back in the top of the first, 79-mile-per-hour slider at 14U.
That's not fair.
With shape and life. There's players that are still, their fastballs are still gaining up to 79 miles per hour at this age, which is still a really good fastball velocity for 14U.
That's actually very impressive. You know, you just don't hear about that normally. You hear about 14-year-olds. If they're throwing 80, that's kind of impressive, but we're talking elite here. We're talking the best of the best.
On slider, fastball, slider here. Wombles sticking in the box, making things work. Just giving himself the next pitch.
Oh, 2 right here. You know, anything can be thrown right here. So
got him.
Or that. Right there, huh? Right down the middle. Just challenged him 0-2. 91 miles an hour.
He said, I'm going to beat you with my best pitch.
That's going to win most challenges at 14U right now.
91 miles an hour, guys.
Front foot got down. It beat him up in the zone.
That ball had a little run to it. It looked like a little extra acceleration almost popped out of the catcher's mitt.
Whatever I brought, I don't know if they've hanged him out or not. Maybe they might get the dugout. Cody got it.
Pitch is high, runner on the move, throw down, throw to the plate, the tag, the baseball in the catcher's mitt. They both pop free.
Muley covers, pops the tag down. You bet he'd be that athletic. Beautiful, beautiful play. Came and covered home plate. There was a minor collision on a slide. Popped that baseball, catcher's mitt free. Muley right there, man. I'm in this play.
Yeah, he was in position, you know. Back pick wasn't exactly successful.
Had to reach for it. There's a middle infield actions coming out.
Oh, yeah, look at that. The foot blocked the slide right there.
Just like a turn on the bag. Had to reach for it. Got a little bit of everything there. I think Sanders would have been out had he had held on to the ball at the plate.
Yeah, no. And right there with a play like that, the on-deck hitter should have been somewhere in the vicinity to let Sanders know whether to slide or stay up.
Able to block it with his feet, just enough for Brady not to sneak in.
Game of inches.
2 outs in the inning. Top of the 9th. Perfect Game Select Baseball Festival, the 14U gathering. The 4th year this event has been held. Dean West drives it toward right center field, toward the gap. It's down. Here goes Dean. Hustling on around into second. He'll stop there. Dean West with the double. The pride of Woodland Hills, California. San Diego Show Baseball, his travel team. Proud of that.
That's another good swing for Dean. Stays short, compact. He's not going to run the ball out of the yard, but what he's going to do is he's going to put the barrel on it. 89 miles per hour, inner half.
You know, he hitting like who he is. And he's a line drive hitter that can shoot the gaps. And that is best utilized when you have wheels like that. You hit the gaps. I mean, you have wet ground out there, the ball stopped. But if it was dry ground out there, that ball's going to get a lot further. And he's easily at third base, possibly at home plate. I was kind of wishing that he would get to third. I wanted to see him run sideways around second.
He can scoot.
Devin Marin.
Man, that ball just rushes up there out of Muley's hand right there.
Closing things out, playing shortstop throughout the weekend. It's easy to see the 94 being in there with how many times he's popped the 91s.
Yeah, like you said, it's late in the game, too.
By the way, real quick, Naz Muley needs to be pointed out, and this is just a simple band, and we'll tell you what it says, but he made these for everyone at the hospital, and it very simply says, Naz Muley, hashtag I will make it, for all the young kids battling cancer. He made them all. He brought them all. He took the time and gave them all out. He wanted to share them with all the young patients at Golisano Children's Hospital. Again, something that doesn't go onto a scouting report here, but took the time, designed them, had them made. Hashtag I will make it.
You know what?
Awesome.
That does make it in the scouting report because that's character right there. And you want high character players on your team, especially going to college or the pros. It's an investment of the person that you are, let alone the talent that you're already bringing.
Devin hung in the box an extra second. They were trying to make it ball 3s instead of ball 4 to get another look in the box.
Hey, if I had a swing like that, I would too.
No doubt.
And we talked about Naz Muley and Hero Wyatt also, the young talented athlete. The aromatic therapy pouches for those that are going through chemotherapy to at least organically attempt to fight nausea. Those are a great picture of those. So selfless athletes understanding they're coming to get a whole bunch of swag and to stay at a really nice hotel and play in a major league stadium, a second home for the Boston Red Sox. And he took time to make 80 of those.
Those
by hand.
Those things smell so good. I really wanted to take a couple of them for myself. But I'd like to see this young man again so he can give me one of those.
Yeah, thoughtful. Yeah, they did smell amazing. You can see where if you're up against it and going through that kind of battle, where that would provide some peace, just some peace, and hopefully help you feel better. It's an organic small burlap bag, and then jasmine, lemon, cinnamon, almost combined to make a menthol.
There's some lavender
smell.
in there too, wasn't there?
Lavender as well. The Bahamas, Ryan Reckley. Oh, look at the dive on that one on 1 and 2. 2 and 2 the count.
Yeah, we hadn't seen any of the switch hitters hit from their other side. We seen them all on the left side only.
Which includes Derek Mitchell, whose best power might be from the right side, but just as the matchups go. Reckley's swing is nearly identical from the right side. Same with Millan. Willett's is shorter, compact. There's a lot of mirroring between all of the four switch hitters' swings from left and right-handed.
And me being a switch hitter who also teaches switch hitting, a lot what I tell the hitters, you start out trying to mirror the other side, and then the personality of the other side is eventually going to come out. And thus you give yourself an identity to each side.
One more shot for Team Sturts in those beautiful red uniforms. The bottom of the ninth inning. What a bright future Nazir Muley has. Wow. What an amazing night it was last night. I had the great honor of hosting the Perfect Game Select Baseball Festival annual 14U Awards Banquet. Great partnerships, great leaderships. Each and every player honored with their individual award as being an All-American player. Tamar Johnson, the National Player of the Year. And Tamar with some other great candidates. But it was a lot of fun. We honored the great fundraisers and just another great piece of this event. Everyone did a really, really good job. Kevin Jackson, we've been waiting to see you come visit us, the young man out of Congers, New York, Don Bosco Prep. University of Virginia is his commitment. He was at 14U National, 14U WWBA, 14U Super 25, the son of Margie and Kevin. Mom was a great basketball player in college at St. Thomas Aquinas College. Who's Kevin as a pitcher?
Well, they say they say that you save the best for last, and he just might be that. Already 6'4", long, loose arm, big extension out front. We've seen him as high as 88 miles per hour, but it's the snap to the breaking ball and the fade to the changeup. Already showing 3 pitches. Obviously, this is a frame that's going to project with Jaxel, and we're going to see something good out of him here to close it out.
He was up to 88 at the Hoover Met in Birmingham, Alabama, just outside of Birmingham at the 14U WWBA. Went 5 1/3, struck out 7. There's a lot positive about this arm, and he deals with Mr. Lape to start things off as that one is fouled back to the screen. Trenton Lape. Danny Wexelman with a little bit more on Kevin Jaxel. Danny?
Yeah, guys, I got to meet Kevin a few weeks ago at the 14U National Showcase, ask a ton of questions, get to know these guys, and he told me that his favorite music is the Beach Boys, so an old soul who's got a huge arm.
Yeah, good stuff, loves the Beach Boys. That's going back before oldies for him anyway. That one sails high and tight, 2-2 the count.
You're talking about Justin Bieber being a throwback.
I know, right? Isn't that your father's music? The great Don Sutton?
The Beach Boys?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. Outside corner, fastball, beautiful pitch, great command at 85 miles an hour.
Outer black right there.
On top of the pitch,
Ooh.
Painted the outside corner. There's not much you can do there as a hitter.
No, nothing at all.
That's a delivery that's going to continue to pump out fuel.
I mean, even if you're trying to protect, you just hope to get a piece of wood on there.
We're scout talk there. You heard that, didn't you, folks? Did you hear Jeremy slide that in there? That's just straight scout talk, pumping out fuel, Jaxel. For you casual fans, that means as he gets older, he's probably going to throw harder.
Sorry, Sut.
No, I like it. I like it. There are diehard, passionate fans of the future of baseball watching this game. That's why we have you here. Schultz beaten with that one. Popped up to the right side, but it's into the seats.
The one thing here with Jaxel already sitting mid-80s is the ability to consistently work on top of the fastball. Living down at the knees, every fastball he's thrown has been down. He's got some life to it, but it's so easy, too.
Well, what you're talking about right there, you saw that was a defensive 2-0 hack right there.
Right.
That ball came barreling in, and as a hitter, that makes you wonder sometimes. It's like, I don't know if I can hit this.
That was a tough pitch there that just missed off. The angle to the glove side, you don't always see it at this age. You see players kind of fight their front side to get there, cut things off. But he just keeps attacking. 87 there on that last fastball. And he's a player we saw at West Palm last fall touching 84s. So there's obvious progression there already.
Poke to the right side. Gobbled up. Fielding. Firing in time. That's a fine play there. Great range. That's Jackson Willits out there at second base.
There's the range we were talking about earlier. Primary shortstop, playing second base, showing the range. Almost stumbles, but has the balance and the coordination to stay on his feet, throw across his body despite being off balance, and complete the play.
And that was a good stretch by Cup over there at first. You know, the thing about first base, you have to have good footwork over there so you don't have the player run into you, have a collision, which can really take you out for periods of time. So there are a lot of drills over at first base that you work on your footwork over there.
And he's a natural shortstop, so he's kind of cheating, too, already having that footwork playing third base.
Fastball dives him out of there. Don Bosco Prep is where Jaxel goes to school. He's a sophomore.
He's making quick work of his innings, so I would just want to reiterate that he does have the 3 pitches that he can throw for strikes at any time. He's just going out and attacking with the fastball, though. 85, 87 consistently. And why not just air it out for the inning?
Yeah.
He's waited a long time to get out here. 2-1, that's what he's doing. Back to the screen it goes. He's touched 88 miles an hour, so he has reached up and gotten some really good velocity.
If you noticed Hero Wyatt's approach over there at home plate, it looks like it's Japanese influenced.
From his time playing in Japan. 2-2. Expound upon your thought quickly. I know we're getting close, but what do you mean?
Well, right there you see the hand separating, has a little movement, and then watch as the pitcher winds up. He winds up as a hitter, has a little leg kick, holds it, and then as you see, a short compact swing.
Interesting.
That pitch prior, the 2-2 fastball that just prior to Hero fouling it off, came across at 88, so...
But these guys should really take time to get their electronics out and capture this moment. They'll never forget it. I don't know why they're not. Oh, they are. Okay.
You got to. You got it. Millennials, right?
Oh,
3-2. Swings right through it, and that'll do it. Jaxel waited a long, long time to get out and throw his final inning. And oh, did he throw, baby. Up to 88 miles an hour, and Team Flash Gordon wins it. The 4th annual Perfect Game Select Baseball Festival, the 14U age group, does not disappoint yet again. Good fun. What a week. What a week it's been. There you go, Dimitri.
Right there. This whole time they came here this weekend, these kids wanted to beat Team Sturts, and there's the proof right there. Look at how happy those guys are.
All the smiling. Look at the cups of water coming out too.
Like they won the World Series right there.
Well, as it should be. Oh,
the emotion.
Look at that. Look at that.
Lots of emotion here.
Jaxel did that like that's not the first time or the last time he's going to throw his glove and pump his teammates up.
Danny Wexelman is standing by. Danny, Ben Ford, and the MVP. Guys, take it away.
Thank you, Darren. I do have Ben Ford, Vice President of National Development for Perfect Game, who is here to present the MVP trophy to Nolan Schubart.
Congratulations, heck of a game today, and you deserve this award.
Nolan, you flashed the leather and the lumber. You continue to prove yourself as a two-way player. Which part of your game are you most proud of tonight?
Definitely mostly my pitching and my hitting, both parts. I was able to stay strong when there's 2 strikes on me and get a hit and be able to get the runs in. And my pitching, I was able to stay within myself when there's people on base and get us out of the inning.
Where does this moment rank for you?
One of my all-time moments. be able to play on national TV and being called the MVP for this big event.
The famous Danny Wexelman run as she escapes once again. Schubart with the Gatorade bath. Danny, don't let him off the hook just yet. It's not over. Get him back in there.
Yeah, I got him. Nolan.
There you go.
Nolan, how does that bath feel?
Very, very cold. A lot colder than the weather that was here for me. So, yeah, it's good way to cool down, though. It's all great.
Hey, tell me about all the guys on your team and what this weekend has meant for you getting to know the best players in the country.
This weekend was amazing. I got close with everybody. I could call them my brothers. We had a great team. We were playing as a family. We were able to come out on top.
All right, Darren, how about that for an answer? Congratulations, Nolan.
That's good stuff. Danny getting out of there. I don't blame her. It's getting a little crazy. Oh, the famous run.
That might have hurt.
Yeah, that was square in the back.
That's okay.
There we go. That cleaned it up.
Running on adrenaline.
Did not drop the trophy.
Little order of business, some numbers. You take the scouts floor with the final velocity that we saw in the last few innings.
You just see it's a continuation of what Lonergan did in the first inning. It's big arm after big arm after big arm, but it's also pitchability, off-speed, command. It's more than just the velocities with all these guys. You see it here, lefty 86, Nas up to 91.
Yeah, those are the last couple of innings that we had to finish telling the story. Velocity, as we take a look at Team Gordon. Thomas White, left-hander, started things out of Massachusetts. There's more to talk about. Again, big numbers for 14U pitchers.
Yeah, it's something special. We say it every year, yet you come away shocked because you have to keep reminding yourself they are 14U. And here we are with the last couple guys, a couple two-ways in Cam, Collier, Stephen Millan, and then Jaxel. Primary arm out of New York, goes to Don Bosco Prep, closes it out up to 88 miles per hour.
This was good fun tonight, guys. Thanks for hanging out and talking with these kids.
Oh, you're very welcome. My pleasure. I love it.
Yeah, all sorts of fun. Dimitri Young, Jeremy Brown, Danny Wexelman, and our entire crew. My name is Darren Sutton. This has been a presentation of the CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Coming up next, Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing. We'll see all of you baseball fans again very soon, watching the future of baseball at a perfect game event near you at the ballpark. I'm Darren. Good night, everyone.